Hey, welcome back to the Geek. Oh wait, no, that's not what we're doing. We are live. We are going to be doing the launch of Unholy Nightmare number 3. I know some of you have been here with us for number 1 and 2, and we're just going to have a good time. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you guys in the chat want to throw at us. We're happy to talk about that. We're just going to do a little bit. Now, I know, most of our audience is probably over watching Friday Night Tights, hanging out with Gary. And I understand, but still, those of you that are here with us, we will have a good time. And since there's less of you than regular aficionados, you got a better chance of getting your questions answered because we'll see it in the chat. So let me go ahead. And first of all, I want to welcome the creators of Unholy Nightmare, Aurelio Mazzara. Am I pronouncing that right? Or is it Mazzara or is it Mazzara?
No, it's Mazzara.
Mazzara. Aurelio Mazzara.
You did it right.
Okay. And Dolan Owarik.
Bippity boppity boo.
That's like the Griffin. There was a.
I just always worry that I'm pronouncing people's names wrong. Like I know the accent. I'm obviously my great grandparents on my grandmother's side are full-blooded Italian. So it's like I have family where I learned the pronunciations, but I always worry that like in America where you're gonna be like your name's Jennifer and it's like so that's they're like, yeah, can you sign it to Jennifer? And you're like, sure, Jennifer, and they're like with a G and you're like, okay, ENN, and then they're like with a Q and you're like, what? Doesn't make any sense.
Always that one.
Right. That's right.
I think Aaron, there's a couple more in the back in the green room.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get the round table introduced here, and then we'll bring them in. I also want to introduce one of our fantastic cover artists for Unholy Nightmare number 3, Lyrics, aka Leslie. How you doing, Leslie?
I'm doing good. Hi, thanks for having me. And
thanks.
You should check out my playmate mat, my table mat.
Yes, you guys may not know this, but Leslie is actually an artistic raccoon.
I am.
Also joining us, I don't know, is this guy allowed on YouTube? Because they kicked him off, and everybody should go and complain to YouTube support that he needs to be brought back because it's bullshit. We've got Tommy from World at War Comics. How you doing, Tommy?
Good to see all of you.
Hi, Tommy.
Good to see you again, man.
Yes, still on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Out of all of us, well, actually, not Aurelio, not Leslie, but out of you and Drew and I would have suspected that you would be the last person to get canceled.
Yes.
It's so weird. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. I try to keep everything very PC, and it doesn't matter, man. AI will grab what AI will grab, I guess. I don't know.
And it will not tell you at all what the problem was.
It says that I some sort of harmful violation, but it won't tell you the violation. So I have no idea. I mean, my last 20 videos are all just interviews with comic book creators. The only thing I could think of is I had Jonathan Glapian and Daniel Enriquez on to talk about issue 5 of The Curse of Shirley Johnson. And maybe because it's Spawn related, we said something. I don't know. But I mean, I've had them. This is like our 6th or 7th time having them on. So I don't know. It's all a guess.
Is there anything in the story that deals with self-deletion or anything that YouTube would find objectionable?
I mean, it's Spawn, so everybody gets deleted in Spawn. But I mean, we didn't talk about anything. It's nothing that I haven't talked about in the last 5 years on the channel. So who knows? Hopefully they can get back to me. They haven't responded or anything.
Well, we'll keep pushing. Drew, do you want to introduce our next guest? Let me bring him on stage here. Everybody, welcome Carmine.
Carmine.
How's everybody doing?
How you doing, Carmine? Good to see you.
Great. The green room. I was a little disappointed in the green room. There was no refreshments.
Yeah, Wes didn't put out any snacks. He's a terrible host. So, Carmine, you've not been on the show before. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I started with I'm a 13-year Army veteran. First of all, after I got out of the Army, I started to have some physical issues, and I have a young daughter, Sophia, and I wanted to be able to spend some more time with her, doing something that I could physically do. Well, at the time I thought I could until I started trying to lift comic boxes, but so we started Sophie's Timeless Treasures a year ago, and she actually put out a comic book with Dolan and one of our favorite artists that's here today, and we just been moving along. Everything's been cool, and then we just partnered up with Caleb Humphrey, a really good friend of ours, to start Omega Comics Coalition. And the purpose of the coalition, it's a more of a premium brand for us, and it's not going to take away from Sophie's. Sophie's is still there, but under the Omega umbrella, we're going to do our exclusives and some other books that we'll be partnering up with Dolan and hopefully yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here in the near future.
Yeah, I've still got to call you. I've still got to call you about that. I've just been busy with fulfillment and with keeping up on my.
But you're teasing me with the background there.
Yeah. We've got extra copies of this. So as soon as I'm through fulfillment and I've it's like I know that I printed extra, so it's not a problem. Sending some for you to put in your shop. And
I wanted, before I forget, I wanted to tell Ariello, Sophie's beginning to work on her next book. It's going to be an animal rescue book. So
That's good.
She's 11 now, and so we may be calling you soon.
Wow, that's great.
I just want you to draw me a little more handsome and more built.
Absolutely. Don't worry.
The next book.
Can you draw me like that too, Aurelio, please?
I'm going to empower it.
I'll give it to my wife for her
Absolutely.
for our anniversary.
That's a good idea.
That's great.
I had, honey. What could have been?
I know that whenever Renzo draws me into a book, which I don't ask him to do, but like I'll be reading, I'll be getting new pages and looking through it, and I'm like, oh, he drew me in. It's like I'll say, oh, I see you drew me in again, and he's like, oh, does it not? It doesn't look good. I'm like, no, it looks too much like me. That's the problem. That's why I don't like it. I get to me and I go, oh, takes me right out. So I want to thank everybody who's here with us tonight. Please retweet, spread the word. Let everybody know that we're doing the launch party, and we've got some other guests that'll be cycling in and out. So it should be a full house tonight.
Hopefully. Let me know when you're ready for me to click the button, Aaron. I'll click the button.
Click the button, Frank. So, Drew, Aurelio, why don't you tell us a little bit about where we find ourselves with where we found ourselves at the end of Unholy Nightmare #2, and what we're going into with 3.
You want me to take it, Aurelio? You want to take it, or?
Yeah, don't worry. Start you. I'll follow you up.
Okay, so at the end of issue 1, it is a bloody unholy nightmare in a warehouse in Gary, Indiana, which is a Tuesday there, and they're introduced to a whole brand new world through a character named Vlad. And in issue 2, they're escaping the CPD who's on the scene, but at the same time, there's a mysterious drug that's being used in the streets. It's being sold, and we learn that there's another major player involved in all this. And at the end of issue 2, our lead characters, they start to learn more about themselves, and they're introduced to these other powerful, mysterious characters, and one of which may just laugh it off and think you guys are nuts. I'm out of here. Deuces.
Well, why don't you tell us who the character at the end of 2 is? Because I know a lot of people know. I was obviously very excited about it when I got to it, and I'm still very excited about it. And I love 3. I love the character in 3. I love that everything that he's doing. Like you and I had discussions about, like, because you're like you're like on script 15 now. You've already written that far ahead. And so you and I were sitting in the airport in Indiana, waiting to fly out to Florida for MegaCon, and we sat down to have lunch. And we went over everything that you were doing, and we added all kinds of little wrinkles and things like that. So and I was like, you can't kill this character. Like, this character has to recur. And that character, if you guys are 80s horror fans, or if you guys are Cthulhu mythos fans, is Dr. Herbert West, the Reanimator.
Yes, and this is the by the book version of Dr. Herbert West Reanimator. So he's got the blonde hair, he's got the glasses. And looks like how he was originally written. And it was so much fun wanting to write him. And just because I love Reanimator and how Jeffrey Combs portrayed him, and Jeffrey Combs is always going to be Herbert West, and so delivering the lines like how he would, cold, cynical, just willing to put someone down, just superior in his thoughts, and it's so much fun writing a character like that. And it was fun having Aaron as well edit me, suggesting things. And it's like, damn it, I should have done that. That's right. I should have. He punched it up, made it a little bit better with his editorial notes, and it's just let's just say things are going to happen. Things are going to get crazy in the subsequent issues, especially this one.
One of the things that we do, and I want to say a special shout out to Oscar Creno, who's in the chat. Oscar is our colorist, both on Kneel Before Doomface, my book, and on Unholy Nightmare. We found that his colors over Aurelio's inks just really give it a different feel, a different life than I've seen on other, when other colorists have gone over Aurelio's work. And he's really making the book look great. So I can't wait to show everything off, to have everybody get this book in their hands. The book is done. This is not one of those crowdfunding campaigns like mine where we had to finish the book first. I will be moving to this model with future campaigns because I love the fact that you guys finish the book, then it gets put out. We get all the orders in. We ship it out as quickly, get it printed to order, ship it out as quickly as possible, and then then we have new versions that are available, for retail purchase at the various shows that we do.
That's correct. Yeah, that's one thing I learned, especially after issue 1. I want to make sure everything is done, and thanks to Carmine and Omega Comics, we've got a plan in place. So as soon as the campaign is done, we got those couple weeks where the money's in escrow. We get all the late backers. We get those final numbers. They're going to the printers, and as soon as they're printed, they are going to Carmine right down there, and everything's going to get fulfilled. So everything, hypothetically, barring any catastrophic collapse in the postal industry or the printing industry, everything should be fulfilled by the end of August. There's no reason why it shouldn't.
Nice.
That's fantastic. And then we will have some at shows. And Carmine, I assume that you will have some as well.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear that last part.
No, I said I assume that you'll have copies as well.
Oh yes. We'll be offering copies on our website and our live streams, and hopefully we're getting them out to more comic book stores. So that's something, that's one of our goals also, is to reach out to some of our local stores here I'm in New Jersey, try to get them to start carrying the book. And we really want to get the readership up is one thing. I mean, the covers are beautiful, the art's beautiful, but I love the story. And being a guy that just read the story and I love it, I want everybody to love it. I want people to read it. I don't want them just to look at the cover. I want them to open up the book. So that's where the comic book stores come in, hopefully. I don't know if you guys saw, but we just got it into our first comic book store. The Fat Moose Comics is the oldest comic store in New Jersey, and they've been around 40-something years. Mm-hmm. So we are looking to do live streams from the store. The owner gave us the green light. We can do that. So it'll probably be, myself and someone else with me that will probably Sophia help me do the live streams from the store. And hopefully that'll get people going.
Yeah, no, that'll be fantastic. And then Tommy, by then your channel will be back and you can review it. And you can have Drew on to interview him.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I got them all, and yeah, the ending to issue 2 with Dr. West was an awesome surprise. But it's been amazing, Aurelio. You know how much I love your art, man.
Thank you.
The whole team has been amazing, and I cannot wait for issue. There's a lot of questions, man. So I hope we get some answers in issue 3.
Oh, trust me, it's that's one thing that I do not believe in, is the mystery box philosophy, where maybe we'll get to it down the line. I don't know. No, there are answers for everyone and everything. And the plan is I'm taking the Hitchcock approach, where I want you to know when I want you to know it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to bombard you with exposition and information dumping in the first issue, second issue. It's not happening. I'm going to be releasing it gradually because I feel like that's how it should be. The reading experience should be fun. It shouldn't be work.
Love it.
Hey, we got Salty Traveling C in the chat. We got AL in the chat. AL's coming to us from Korea. She's traveling right now, and popped in to say hello. Thank you, AL. Appreciate you as always. Salty Traveling C says this will be one of the few indies I will fund this year, and we certainly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Salty is always one of our big supporters. Kaiser Jose is also in the chat. He says, "Is that World at War Comics? Is he allowed on YouTube?"
I just tried to add a comment and it rejected me. So
Wow.
Yeah, I can't even do it.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Wow.
I
Tommy,
hope
put it in the.
I hope I don't mess up Wes's channel.
No. Put it in put anything that you want to say in the chat, in the private chat, and I'll put it in.
No worries. I was just saying hi to everybody, but yeah.
I can't get banned by association here, can I?
Yeah. Too late. I have my personal account that I used before I started, and it's working. So
I will watch you when you come back.
I appreciate it, Carmine. Thank you, sir.
I've never been banned from any. I would dare to say that I am probably the most controversial person here as far as running my stupid mouth. I've not ever been banned from any platform, but on Instagram I have been put on limited a couple of times. A lot of times I'll be typing a Salty says best part of this stream. No Josh.
Oh, Josh, man.
Oh,
brutal.
That's hilarious.
But I have been put in like the, you're like limited posting and things like that. And I do often when I'm replying to something on Instagram, it'll be like, this comment looks like a lot of other comments that people have reported. And I'm like, oh my God, what a bunch of little hothouse orchids on this site.
That's hilarious.
Don't start campaign before 6:30. I have to go punch in. When are we launching the actual campaign?
we can do it right now. Let's press the button.
Kaiser said don't.
You said don't? Oh, okay.
He said not before 6:30. What time zone are you in, Kaiser? What are we working with here?
Yeah, we're Eastern.
So that's 9 minutes. You know what? We'll launch it. Okay, we'll launch it in 9 minutes. That sounds good.
Yeah. Let's
9 minutes. All right.
Let's hook him up, man.
Yeah, I think he is in Central Time. So yeah, I'm excited for everybody to read 3. I'm excited for everybody to read 4 and 5. That's kind of the funny thing is we do this campaigns, and it's like, so we're doing the campaign for 3, but I've already read scripts, not up to 15 where Drew is currently, but I've read scripts I think up through 8, and and then we've discussed past 8, but I've actually read the books for 4 and 5, or 4 or 5. I know what happens in 6. So it's like this weird thing with these campaigns. And even with Kneel Before Doomface, it's strange because people are, they got the digital copy. The very first people have gotten some of their physical copies. Yeah. And people, because I'm still working on that. I'm doing it all myself. I've got to make sure that it's right and that I can correct it if anything goes wrong. But people are like, oh, this is good. And, they're like talking to me about number 1. And I'm like, I'm so bored with number 1 of my own book because I've read it so many times. You go through it so many times to make sure it's perfect. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm already living in 3, 4, 5, 6. And so it's funny. You're always living in the future, the past, the present when you're working on a book like this.
Yeah. Drew already has an omnibus of Unholy Nightmare in his own house.
It's got so much art.
Yeah, it's notebook size right there. All these, but I actually got one of the original. I got Andre's cover right here actually for the campaign. They got the original art right here. Yeah.
If you go to the Kickstarter, that's the picture it's showing right up front.
Yes, sir.
Kaiser said, "Go ahead and do it, but hurry so he could back before 6:30."
Oh, before 6:30, then launch it, Drew. Let's go.
Said, all right,
I'm launching.
All right, here we go.
Not now. And now. There we go. Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
We are live. We are live.
We are live. Okay, AL's got to go, but AL, thank you so much. She's going to the National Museum in the morning. Have a good stream. I expect good things. Well, thank you so much, AL. I expect you to have a very nice, time over there in Korea. Go and visit all the things, eat all the good food, and we will be waiting for you when you get back. Now, we have something very special with this campaign for the first 48 hours. Drew, what would that be?
That is true. We have, for the first 48 hours, Miss Leslie Lyrics Lee. Her variant is only available in the first 48 hours. That is there, right there. It just says first 48 hours cover. Lyrics, $18. You can get that right now. And with her cover, you're able to get it in the complete set in the first 48 hours as well. After that, it is going in the Disney vault. It is gone, never to be seen again.
That's awesome. Now let me see if I can I present the campaign here. That's Drew, if you put it up, I can share. I think I can share your screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put up the campaign. We can see what we're working with here.
Share screen. Share. There we go.
Where did it go? Ah, there we go. All right. So this is the campaign. And Drew, you may scroll along and show us what's going on. Woo! We've already made $27.
That's outstanding.
I'm number one, baby. I'm number one.
It's all
Tommy,
easy.
thank you, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, here we go. We got the story down here. Yep. Unholy Number 3. Yeah, once again, being produced by Uniform Comics in partnership with Omega Comics, Coalition. Thank you, Carmine. Everything you've done.
Thank you.
So yeah. And we got our creative team. We got myself, Aurelio, Oscar, colorist, amazing. Bill Williams, new letterer. He's fantastic. Steve Finkel, one of the Comic Men. Aaron, our editor, Russ Cassidy. Yeah, he set up Russ set up the pre-press and the Kickstarter. Carmine, handling the fulfillment, and Xavier Mendoza, founder owner of the Night of Comics. He hooked us up with the Katya cover, which you got over here.
Yeah.
That is our featured cover. Cover H trade, the Katya. We got. I could not believe we got her on the cover. And here's one cover we got here by JC Grande that he did with Dan Kemp on the colors. And there it is. There's the very first page right here.
Awesome.
Very nice. I love that shot. I love Golem in the foreground.
Yes.
I love.
Yeah, that's exactly how it. That's how it was written. That's how it was exactly written. He killed it. Yeah.
I love Drek's red suit.
Yeah. And here's another page with things to come in the issue. We are in the Chicago Field Museum. So naturally, if you're going to have it in the Chicago Field Museum, hey, you got to have the dinosaur in there. You got to get some reanimated dinosaur action. And we got it right here.
Damn, someone loves drawing dinosaurs. That's crazy good. That's insane.
Oh yeah.
I know, right?
Now,
Yeah.
Aurelio, did Drew ask you at any point? Was he like, "Well, what do you want to draw?" And you're like, "I want to draw a dinosaur skeleton, man, like on a rampage."
I was really happy. I love dinosaurs.
That is
Once I
insane.
started to draw, I was a bit okay. One panel, two panel, a splash page. But I love it. I really enjoyed it.
I really loved one of the things I really loved while editing this issue was we get to see more of Trinacria and Father Mario, which I think are two very interesting characters. We're working on a Trinacria special right now. With all these campaigns, what we try to do is we try to do a little supplemental 10 pager that will give you some backstory on some of the characters, so that we don't necessarily have to do all of that within the issue. You don't have to get a page of exposition while we explain the entire history of each character. We try to do like a special so that you can the story unfolds naturally within the pages of Unholy Nightmare. But if you're like, man, I really like this character, I want to learn more about them, we'll give you their origin as well. And we've gotten really good reviews on those.
Yes, we have. Specifically, the Golem. Aaron and I, as well as Vu Don, rest in peace. we told a beautiful story there, and I really truly hope more people do check that out, because it's granted it's only 10 pages, but it is 10 pages that packs a punch.
Yeah, we've got one for Trinacria coming up. We got Dracula coming up. Look at that! Oh man, Kenneth Roquefort cover, so good.
Dr. West.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, there he is. Trinacria got Vlad in his costume. Yeah, just Aurelio. That was Aurelio's idea, wanting to these ideas using the old. I think was it the Dell comics, the Dell comics.
Exactly.
That, yes,
Was
based
that-
on the old Dracula. Yeah, just a modified version of that old school costume. Yeah.
Was the very first, more than 10 years ago, I was looking to make a monster books. I started to looking around, and casually I discovered the Dell Comics Dracula. And blowing me my mind when I see it. I really love it, and I said I want to use this costume. So for this reason, I have insisted with Dolan at the beginning. I remember the first time he said, "Man, you are sure about?" Yeah, I'm sure about the costume, especially because I have tried. Of course, the Dell Comics was a big reference, but there was some kind of Faust Love of Damned, not just the comic book from Tim Vigil and David Quinn. But, especially the movie. The movie is from Brian Yuzna with the Screaming Mad George special effect. And I have tried to put some elements, especially on the ears, on the mask, from that movie that, to be honest, I pretty love, but I honestly love everything Brian Yuzna did. So...
So funny story, Aurelio. Funny story. My birthday was not too long ago, and my mom got me a book called "The League of Regrettable Superheroes." And sure enough, what character is in there? That Dracula, right there. He's right there.
Was a signal. Was destiny. Was necessary.
Yep.
It was totally casual. Because I was looking around Google, looking to some ideas, no. And discovered this was the first thing. The first thing I wanted to put in the book.
So
Yeah,
Oscar says it's great to get to see your guys' faces.
Yeah, it's a shame you're not. Yeah, it's too bad you're not in the chat, man. But it's at least
No,
you're in
really.
the
Oscar's in the
group
chat. But yeah, we
Okay.
could. I mean, Oscar, call out in the chat if you want me to send you a link. You know, you're welcome to come on with us. Oh, you know what? We have another special guest. Let's see who I invited. If you guys know Comics and on Twitter, Drew, I don't think that you've met, but although maybe I briefly introduced you guys at MegaCon. Danny from Danica, Danielle. What do you prefer?
Hello.
I
can't go on camera because I can't speak to how many women that Aaron actually knows, but you cannot spring an on-camera appearance. with
That's true. I did just invite you because you texted me, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come on?"
And then, did you see the picture I sent you?
No, I didn't.
You should look. You should look. I've not been feeling well. Yeah, laugh it up. I've not been feeling well, and just truth be told, guys, I don't know what your rules on silk robes and kimonos are, but I just got out of the shower. I got a face mask on, my hair in a towel, and the silk robe and kimono. So,
and if we
here I
if
am.
we had you come on camera with your face mask on, we would definitely get demonetized and probably kicked off. And then they'd be like, we're never letting Tommy back on, associating with these guys.
Right.
I'm nervous for everybody, man.
It would be an ism. It would be an ism. Yeah.
But
There
thank
would
you
be
for joining us.
accusations.
You're no you're no stranger to horror stories yourself. You've got a crowdfunder out there,
Yeah, a little bit.
which we will be discussing on a future aficionados when you come and join us.
Yes, sir. I'm very excited about that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a great channel. I was watching you talk about the John Byrne controversy the other day.
Oh, I went off.
there was a point where it's like you stopped talking, and I thought that my feed just stopped, but it was like you were just so fed up. You were just kind of sitting there like processing your thoughts.
I had to like, bring it down, take a breath, because I was about to hit something. Like, Heather Antos upsets me so much on a personal level as a woman writer. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, how dare you, Aaron? Like, women like her make it difficult, so much more difficult for the rest of us, because she's the one that people have as a reference, for the general consensus out there. That's for some ungodly reason, names like that's the name. They're like, oh yeah, I know a woman comic contributor, whether she's an editor or name one project she's actually, successfully worked on, other than getting coffee for people. But still, she's like, I'm a comic editor for Marvel. Like, okay, sure, go, here's your crayons, be quiet, go get us some coffee. But anyway, like, she's done so much stupid crap and ran her mouth so much and gone on so many cancel campaigns that now when you are a lady nerd and you say, oh, well, I write comic books, I make comic books, like, oh, okay, sure. Like, that's what they picture in their heads. Like, awesome, great.
It makes it tough as well, I think, when it's like, because I actually had a conversation with her at MegaCon, and the conversation
she didn't call security and have you banned.
I mean, I don't know that she even knows who I am, but I introduced myself, and we had a polite conversation, and I think that there's just something about social media that, I'm obviously, this isn't a profound thought by any means, but I think there's just something that breaks kind of people's brains, because as I was talking to her, I was like, this is a perfectly polite and cordial conversation, and if we were getting dinner somewhere, with like a group of people, like we'd probably get along just fine. Like, we're not necessarily politically aligned, we're not aligned on probably a great number of things, but we would get along fine. But there's something about social media that I think makes everything so antagonistic, and so much easier, but I absolutely understand what you're saying.
It's that thing where you're not looking someone in the eye. It's like a sociopathic thing, where you are almost free from consequences. You're free from immediate consequences, definitely free from immediate physical consequences. So it gives you this kind of skewed sense of morality, you feel like, well, nothing's going to really happen to me, so I can say what I want. I can do what I want. I can be ridiculous and childish and immature and make wild claims and try to take down comic legends who have paved the way for my job to exist. I mean, that's just the things she said about John Byrne, and then to come back the next day and say, I policed no one. You actually did, ma'am. Like, you actually
you said don't buy the book, which is obviously going to be interpreted as policing.
Correct.
The interesting thing is, and I think that she had a really bad week after that, because obviously she got a huge amount of pushback, which I don't think a couple of years ago that necessarily she would have gotten.
Oh no, yeah.
But a huge amount of pushback, and then on top of that, one of the people that's like part of like the group of the cabal, as some people would say, got busted doing something very nefarious. And it's like so you're because John Byrne asked some questions on a forum, about a subject. And I saw unless there's something more egregious out there. I saw like what people were referencing. This is what John Byrne actually said. I was like, it all seemed like very just like kind of like innocent questions, and he may have been coming from a specific point of view, but he did seem like he was genuinely saying, do we really think this is the best course of action, and was actually asking people to engage and have a discussion. And I think the problem with online now too is that nobody wants to have the discussion. Everybody just wants to tell you to shut up and accept things, and from my perspective, at least, and I know we're going far afield here and we're getting into actually like aficionados type topics, but and we will get back to the campaign, obviously. But I think that if you're not willing to have discussions about things, if you're not willing to have conversations, then you're never going to win anybody to your side. People are just going to dig they're going to dig. So even if you are right, you're going to push people away. So I always just try to be willing to have these conversations. And if you tell me that I'm wrong and I say, I don't think I am, and then you say, here's some evidence that maybe you didn't see, I'll look at it and see if I change my opinion.
It is a sign of intelligence, and this is a scientific fact. It is a sign of intelligence that when you are presented with new information, you change your mind. That is a sign of intelligence. And it is the opposite is true for lack of intelligence. If you are presented with new information and you refuse to nope, I'm just going to continue sitting here saying that the sky is blue, then that is an obvious lack of intelligence. And the whole point of, if you're wanting to win people over, if you're wanting to educate people and you're walking around shaking your fists saying, educate yourselves, and someone actually asks you questions and then you shame them for it and try to burn their career, their legendary, incredible career to the ground, how many more people do you think are going to care to try and educate themselves?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
So
we're and some of us are out here trying to have conversations. We're not being a holy terror on YouTube like Tommy, who was kicked off for his egregious his egregious creator interviews.
Oh my goodness!
I'm going to keep harping on that because it's so stupid. I'm
known for really saying a lot of wild stuff, Aaron.
Yeah, no, you're
now you have piqued my interest.
Yeah. Well, I wish you could see what I've done. It's gone. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, my night's ruined.
It'll be back. I have great faith in Tommy's ability to overcome. What Drew, tell me what we're looking at here on the screen right now.
Oh, I've just been scrolling through all the a very hot chick. This is Jenny, and she is our she-wolf, and this is our beautiful Katya cover. And as you can see right here, the little silhouette of her werewolf form on the back.
So good.
Got some,
I am invested.
Eyes. Yes. Katya, as Aaron and I... Yeah.
I was saying, you had me a hot chicken werewolf.
Yeah. Aaron, Tommy, and I, we witnessed firsthand the Katya experience at MegaCon, and just how fast those comics sell with her name on it and her art on it. It's stupid. Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, she's
I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense after looking at that picture.
She's an unbelievable talent. And look here. Speaking of exceptional talent, look what we have right here.
That is
Miss
awesome.
Resri Ree. Yes,
that's incredible.
Beautiful.
Available in the first 48 hours.
That's right.
If the Cats movie had looked like that, it might have actually been palatable.
I remember seeing that trailer in the theaters and being like, is it April 1st? There's no way this is real, right? There's no way.
Oh
it
man. It got so much worse.
And I just love saying when people talk about Taylor Swift, I'm like, oh, the actress from Cats? Like I disregard any song she's done. Oh, the actress from Cats. All right.
I do that with Courtney Cox. I'm like, oh, from the original Masters of the Universe in '84. I thought she was really pretty and talented. It's a shame that she never really did anything else, did she? Or if someone brings up Jennifer Aniston, you got to be like, oh, from Leprechaun.
Leprechaun.
or the Ferris Bueller's Day Off TV show. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh wow, deep cut.
I went to a live taping of the Uncle Buck TV show starring Kevin Meaney.
Shut your
Oh,
face.
jeez.
It was really bad. Like I can't remember what the episode was about, but I know that when they were getting upset because at one point like they kept reshooting the same scene over and over. Then they do the thing where you're supposed to laugh, like you're basically like the live laugh track. And at one point we started, my friends and I, we started like laughing, but then going into crying because we were like, please let this end. After that, though, we did get to see a taping of Coach, which was fun.
That was
Oh,
a great
nice.
show, by the way. Coach, love that show.
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson, man.
That was
Yeah.
classic, man.
And,
So if we
what's his name?
were
Greg-
doing a radio play, Drew, of Unholy Nightmare, who would Craig T. Nelson play?
I would have him do the Gollum.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Gollum.
just be grunting.
That would be pretty good. That's like hiring Alan Tudyk just to be a rooster.
Yes, greatest character in that film. Yes, love it.
There's a great moment too where it's like behind the scenes where he's recording and he does like this rooster noise and he looks into the camera and he just kind of sheepishly goes, I went to Juilliard.
Yeah, that was great.
If you look at the character art too, we're talking about Moana now. We're just like bouncing around subject to subject as Drew continues to show off the
You're lost.
the
It's
book.
everyone is. You're good.
Yeah, it's if you look at the original character designs, because obviously the product designs have to be done way in advance. So the very early stuff that Moana came out, Hey was a very brave, stoic-looking rooster. And somewhere along in production, they were like, "No, what if he's an idiot? That's probably funnier." And so his look completely changed. But you can still find designs out there sometimes, especially like when they like start showing up in Ollie's. And you'll see like the original character design for him on packaging.
His role as K2SO in Rogue One. Originally, my friend Details, who played Quay Tolsight in the Solo movie, he was supposed to play K2SO. And they had built his hero suit and done all the things, and he'd had his fittings, and they were ready to start filming. And we've decided to go a different direction. Alan Tudyk is going to be K2SO, and he's going to voice it. And he's like, "Oh, okay. I mean, how do you really get mad that it's going to be Alan Tudyk?" Like, it's like, that's actually kind of cool. And he got another role in the film, but it's like, Alan Tudyk took my job, and he turned out to be iconic.
I got beat out by James Robinson on a comic pitch once, and I was like, well, I mean, what are you
gonna do?
James Robinson.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, go.
One thing.
Come on.
So we're gonna be offering. Yeah, we're gonna be offering some various things here in the campaign, some for add-ons, and specifically, we're gonna be offering some medals. We're gonna be offering foils. You can do mystery medals and foils if you want. As an example down here, different colors, and on top, as well as the Katya cover, we're gonna be offering the signed and remarked by Katya. So, and there is no limit there, and so. You want to buy 5 copies, want them all signed and remarked? We can do that. And we've made a little stipulation on that to let people know. Important notice, wink, wink, hint, hint. This will be conducted September 2026 at Dallas Fan Expo and fulfilled by October 2026. Yes.
All right. And the construction should be done at Dallas Fan Expo, right? By then? Like that they were. We didn't,
I don't think so.
September, right?
No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing that it'll be going on and they're moving things around for Fan Expo. So,
did we go last year or did we go
2 years ago?
It was
2 years ago.
I think it wasn't last year, was it?
No.
Drew?
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah.
Was it? Oh yeah, 'cause it was early in the year.
I might be at Fan Expo.
Oh, nice.
Possibly.
It was a great show.
What is our next show, Drew? I don't even know.
I'm doing Terrificon in August in Connecticut, but after that's gonna be in New York.
And there's a chance you might come out for San Diego, right? Because I'll be at San Diego.
Possibly. We'll talk about that. Possibly.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you could you come see us, get some signed stuff, have some fun. Leslie, when are you coming back out?
Oh, sorry, Leslie's taking a little break. She's
Oh, okay.
so
I can't tell because the raccoons are still on the screen. How would I know that?
Yeah. So real quick,
there's another lady.
Yes,
there's another lady. Miss Resri Ree. She is taking a little break right now. She is 12 hours ahead of us right now. So she's a little sleepy.
Her.
So she's taking a little nap right now.
Getting up early.
I don't remember.
There she is. Is that her?
Oh, she's there.
I went to the bathroom. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
No, that's okay. Okay.
You're allowed to
Hi,
do that.
Leslie.
Hey,
Hi, Leslie. I'm Danny. Nice to meet you.
hi, Danny. Nice to meet you too. What were we talking about again?
Oh, I was asking what your next show that you're making an appearance at will be.
Oh, I'm thinking about New York, but I'm still working on some stuff. So, yeah, New York Comic Con.
That'll be awesome. New York was where we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You, me, Drew, and Von Coleman going to dinner.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. Yeah.
I love
That's one of the
Vaughn.
things that it's one of the things that I really love about cons, Danny, is as you can probably attest, is that I like meeting people and let's go do stuff. Let's get out of here. Let's go have dinner. Let's, I like making those connections. I like, like I said, social media can be, such a it can give you the wrong impression of who people really are. So it's like, I really like that face-to-face interaction. And I really like, getting out and obviously.
Except me. I am exactly who I claim I am.
No one's getting cheated, huh?
See, I thought so.
No.
I thought so too.
No.
But people meet me at cons and they're like, "Oh, you're so much nicer than I thought you would be." And I was like, "Why did you think I wouldn't be nice?"
I will tell you. I will tell everyone right now, though. If Aaron tells you he has pretty handwriting, do not believe him.
No, he does. Aaron has
He
great
does
handwriting. I
not.
witnessed it firsthand.
He does
Yeah, oh.
not. I have evidence, sir. I have permanent evidence hanging on my wall on my first exhibitor badge. It is right there. He wrote my name. He wrote my name on my badge. He's like, "Let me write it for you. I have pretty handwriting." I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Oh, thank you."
Thank you, Aurelio.
Okay,
is that Aurelio or is that no? Who's
No, it's me.
Tommy. Yes,
That
Tommy.
is
Thank
way
you.
nicer. That is way nicer. Way nicer than how
I
he
was
wrote
just
my
gonna
name.
say, Danny, I'm not trying to go against you, but this one looks pretty darn good. It's better than mine,
okay.
that's for sure.
So I'm wondering if maybe it's because I have a really crazy ass last name that maybe you were just like, I'm gonna spell this wrong. I know it.
What was I
just know
writing?
it.
What was I writing on? Because sometimes, because I know that
The
when
bad.
but was
your
it on the
lap.
table or was I drawing it on? Or was I doing it on my lap or where was I writing?
I think you might have been writing on your lap.
That's why. Because I remember
that was it.
being like, I have nice writing. I'll do it for you. And then I'm like on my lap and I'm like, well, I've messed this up.
I will, but I treasure it forever. It hangs in my studio behind me when I'm on camera. So, and when I was leaving, Brandon was like, "Can I have my badge back?" And I was like, Aaron wrote my name on it. He goes, you want to keep it, you do, don't you, like a memento? And I said, well, yeah. And he goes, all right, get out of here. I'm like, okay, yay.
Look at Iron Druid said I could pull off a convincing biker dude if I don't talk.
I saw that. I was laughing.
Maybe if I got contacts and I didn't talk and I just scowled.
Yeah.
If you didn't wear like the button down Hawaiian shirt or something, like just wear a cut, or denim jacket, cut off denim something, like just like scowl.
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
aviators.
I mean, I could just talk like this all the time, just talk low and rough. And
There you go.
maybe people would think that I was, a biker guy.
Sucks to be you, nerd. Yeah.
Pushing people in lockers,
Yeah.
What if I carried a locker around with me and pushed people
Oh
in?
my god, yes.
That's your costume for
Perfection.
San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah, I'll just walk around
Just
with
be
like a
bully
big
and
locker on
walk
wheels.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, come here, nerd. Just throw him in the locker.
To be
That would
honest,
be
I think
so
that would
funny.
kill. Just so you know, I think that
It
would.
would. I agree. I've never been to San Diego Comic Con, but I concur. I think it would kill.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Kaiser grabbed the Voodoo and Volt covers. Might also have to grab that Lunatic cover though.
Dude, that Volt cover is
Ooh.
crazy too. I
We
love his
appreciate it.
art.
That
Yeah.
is wild looking. I really, really like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. I mean, I don't have my.
Shane Connery Volk.
Oh man, Shane is so good. How that guy hasn't blown up, man.
There it is, right there. Yeah.
Man, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, I was thinking, after Nottingham, I would have thought he would have taken off in Prairie Gods, but he's just doing his own thing. He's a rocker. He's doing his own thing. So good for him.
Good for him, but he is so talented, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, so like, there's a murderer's row of comics.
Yeah.
Is that Raichi? Drew, is that Raichi on the cover that looks sort of
No,
photorealistic?
Which one?
It's just Jenny on the cover. It's like a half shot.
Keep going.
Oh, right
There.
here.
Right there.
Yeah, that's Jonathan McDaniel.
Okay.
He's a horror movie artist. Yeah, he's done a lot of a lot of the terror, the Terrifier, Art the Clown pieces, and he does a lot of celebrity pieces. And I got him to do this one for Jenny, and it's like he didn't read Unholy Nightmare at first. I told him what it was about. He did Jenny, and then he read it afterwards. He's like, "Shit! If I had known it was going to be this horror center, it would have made it more terrifying and more horrific." And it's like, "Oh, you can do it next time. Don't worry about it."
Looks good though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was General Balzac in the comments was saying that he supported the book. He doesn't usually go in for horror, but he supported the book. And one of the things that we constantly we try to remind people is that it's not simply a horror book. There's superhero elements, there's horror elements, there's action elements. It's really a blend of multiple genres. And that's kind of like what makes it so compelling to work on for me is that it's got so many different things going on. So if you're in a mood where you're like, I'm really into the horror thing right now, you're like, oh, but there's like some kick-ass superhero action going on here right now. And one of the things that I really love is Aurelio, when he lays out his pages, he does some of the most interesting page compositions that of any book that I've worked on. So Aurelio, definitely take a bow because there's panels where you've got, like I love it when you break panels because you do it in really interesting ways. There's one where like Golem is like smashing through the panel and his foot's coming down and it's like it looks like a big meat hammer, that you would pound out oh, it's so good.
Thank you so much. I was the 19th for me. This is the reason.
Yeah,
this is the truth.
You're very
yeah. We love the image. Yeah.
Real 90s.
Yeah, we loved Image Comics in the 90s. So yeah, this is like one of our little love letters to Image Comics in the 90s. They're a big inspiration on us. That big bombastic extreme studios action.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Apparently I have a sound little sling blade. French fries. Top of them pretty lips.
Get a little mustard for the biscuit.
And then Andrew Gonzalez, thank you very much for pledging. He says cover
Thank
F
you.
and H for me. Both look great.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
right here, this is the Voodoo cover right here. Rest in peace. Yeah, this was his very last piece he did before he passed. And
Oh wow!
glad to have it. Yeah,
It's
he
so-
nailed it.
Definitely a collector.
Yeah,
Yes.
such a tragedy. He was such a nice guy, and was working with us, and we had like so many plans in the future with him, and just it broke both our hearts. When we found out, like Drew messaged me, and I was like, no, and he's like that's what I heard. I'm trying to verify, And I was like, no way. I mean, I was like, he wasn't that old. And we found out it was just it was a freak accident, and he and his family both, they passed away. So, I'm glad that I feel honored that we got to know him while he was here, and it just reminds you, don't take anybody that you care about for granted. Let them know how important they are to you, because you never know how much time you have with them.
Yeah. Such a very nice guy, great family man. And he reached out to me initially. I showed Aurelio. He did that piece of fan art for us.
Mm-hmm.
He loved Unholy Nightmare. He just did a random fan piece of the Recluse when he transforms. And I was like, dude, that's gnarly. I want to buy that from you. I'm going to make that a cover. He's like, oh, no. I'm going to draw it. I'll make it better.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? How can you make this better? And
he wants to
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look who's here. Murphy!
Hey!
Now, I'm sure Murphy is
Long time no
probably,
see.
I think she's probably like at work, but Murphy, if you want, text me and I will send you the link. We would love to have you on. We could have like 3 women on a Comic Center podcast. What? Be insane. But yeah, I'm so happy that we
representation matters.
Representation. Yes.
three of the most. We would have three incredibly talented women in the industry on the show.
Woo, thank you.
Already at $1,100.
Right here, we're looking at
1,100.
That's awesome.
36% to goal. That's incredible.
Yeah,
And
25
that's
backers.
outstanding.
Yeah.
That's
As soon as I get
25
up
backers. Wow, man.
I'll be one of the backers as soon as I get up and go get my wallet. I sat down
So
here at the
right
desk without it.
So right here, this is the cover to one of our add-ons. So we're going to have 2 short stories. We're offering the Golem again as an add-on
So
for people
good.
to
You
get.
haven't read that, by the way. The Golem, crazy good. When you sent it to me, I was blown away, man. I was not ready for that story. Insane. I'm just going to throw it out there.
And once again, illustrated by the great Vudon. He did the cover and he did the interiors. It's all black and white, told in the old school EC Comics Tales from the Crypt style. It's fantastic. And we're also adding on the 10-page short story for Dracula. So as we know, Vlad is a character in our book, so we get to see his origin here. Illustrated by the great Andre Lunatic, who is now working at Dynamite, working on the Fire and Ice book with Dan Panosian. So I can say, I got the start on him, bitches. He came to me first. How about that?
And knowing what I know of Dynamite, he may make more money with us.
Yeah. I know. Oh, we got someone in chat. We have a Mr. Steve Finkel in the chat who owns the Comic Mint, who brought on Aaron and I. Steve, thank you, man. Thank you.
The mysterious Steve Finkel, who I would bring on in a second, but he doesn't want to be on stream.
But,
and I've got the link to the campaign in the chat.
Oh, real quick, little fun story. Aaron knows this. Murphy knows this. This was originally a Born of Blood. So I wrote the series Born of Blood. Aaron was one of the editors, and we were going to do a second volume, and we were going to bring in Dracula. That didn't happen, and so I told Aurelio, hey, Vlad's a character in this. I'm just going to rewrite this origin I had for him and Giaris and rework it into Unholy Nightmare. So, and here we are. This is where we are with that.
That's one of those happy accidents when you're working on something and it doesn't, it's one of the reasons that, like, I told somebody recently that I was working with. They said, oh, I'm sorry that we didn't ultimately end up going with that idea. And I said, that's okay, because that's an idea that I can apply to my own stuff. Like, it was an idea I was giving you, but I can work it into something else that I'm doing. And so it's nice when you have a company that doesn't have the vision, doesn't want to move forward on something. Which was the case with this, because, man, there were so many good, for those of you who enjoyed the initial Born of Blood series, there were so many good ideas. Like, you don't know how many good things you missed out on from the Merc universe when Murphy and Drew and I and Joe Corallo, when we were all working there, because we were plotting out like the next 2 years of stories and had some things in the works. And of course, all of that got nerfed and shot down. And so that's okay. We were never paid for those ideas. Those ideas get reworked somewhere else. Ideas that I had for Death Range will be worked into another project that Renzo and I are doing that I've shown off exactly once, and then I've been quiet about it. But you guys will find out all that stuff. So it's just one of those things it's why when people are like, oh, you don't want to give your ideas to this or that, I got that question a lot on Darkwing. They're like, well, do you own any of this? Like, if they make pins or they make, they put this on a TV show, do you get any more money? And I'm like, no, that's not the way this works. It's work for hire. And they're like, well, why would you give that to Disney? Or, it's like, well, it's like a company like Marvel, I wouldn't give them my best ideas because I work in that genre and I would use them elsewhere. But Darkwing Duck, I said everything I created for Darkwing, I created specifically for Darkwing. So there was no chance of me using it anywhere else because I'm never going to do an anthropomorphic duck comic, or anything like that, like for myself. So, all those things were part and parcel of what was created for that. But I definitely understand why, Rick Remender saved his best stuff for when he went out on his own. He didn't necessarily give his best ideas to Marvel or why creators do that, because why would you give that up to a corporation that's going to not treat you very well?
Never say never, Aaron. You might have a duck in your title there, my friend.
Well, I have an iguana. There is an iguana. There is an inflatable iguana in Kneel Before Doomface.
It is early. We could see duck, man. I'm just saying.
Iguana be in comics.
Yeah. It's funny because people are like, "Is this a funny animal book?" And I'm like, "No, Iggy's the only funny animal in the book." And they're like, "You never explain why why he's in it?" And I'm like, "Probably not." It's just one of those. It's one of those things. It's the type of universe that Doomface exists within. Is like there's just things that are there and you don't question them.
So real quick, little fun fact about this on the Golem here. This cover, Vu illustrated this. There's a video of him illustrating it all freehand live on Facebook. It's sped up, but he did this all by hand, straight to ink, no pencils, no blue line, straight to ink. This guy was a wonderkind, and if I can find that video, I'm going to share it. There was never going to be another artist like him. He was a beast.
Yeah, he was incredible. We do have a question from Brimstone Shadow. Dumb question: who is Katya and who is signing the add-on? Thanks and good luck.
No, not a dumb question. Katya is a new freelance cover artist on the scene. She has been doing a lot of work with Dynamite. She's doing a lot of work with the Comic Med on Silent Nights, and she's got some more work coming up. Hope maybe potentially from other publishers. I can't say, but she is a big name, and she will be signing and remarking her cover.
And I'm telling you, Katya, much like Leslie, who's here on the panel with us, they are up and coming. And I think that if you follow them, it's time to get in on like kind of like Danny is sick.
I'm so sorry. I thought I muted my mic. I told you I haven't been feeling good all week.
Let it out. Man.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta take care of it. But both Leslie and Katya, I think are. I don't think that people understand how big they're going to be. Their art is gorgeous, and I think that they will continue to get more and more work. And people are going to want to track down these early low print run pieces from them.
Oh, I think we have another person in the back room, Aaron.
Well, who the hell could this be? Let's see. Welcome. How you doing, HH?
Hello from New York City.
HH.
For those of you familiar with the show, you will know H.H. German, our good friend from he does Here Comes Calico, and you got the Green Eyed Bandito going on right now. Yep. You're pushing that. So how you doing, H.H.? It's good to see you, brother.
Doing great. I'm here for you guys. I was very fortunate to take a look at this project, and let me tell you, these guys are fantastic. Drew, personally, I've taken a look at his work really since Born in Blood, and you could see the progression, you could see the passion, you could see the talent, and you could see the understanding of what it is to make a comic book in today's age. When I got started 5, 6, 7 years ago, the first thing I did was go to my local comic shop and picked up these books, and I was shocked at what was going on. And shortly after that, I started talking to people like Wes, like Perch, and of course, eventually I met Drew and Aaron. And these are guys who are very, very caring about the subject of comics. And what a wonderful, just take a look at what we have here today. I mean, folks, if you were watching this video, please do yourself a favor. Go ahead and pick this book up. Pick up a couple. It's really fun stuff. I took a look at it. Great art, great storytelling, fun stuff. This is comics. That's full stop.
Well, you know, HH has been a great friend to us, and has really been just inspiring as a person. You know, sometimes at a con you go through what I call the dark valley of despair, where you know, you're at a convention, especially if you're tabling. You know, you're at a convention and you start to, like, you know, you haven't had anybody come to the table for a while. The people that have approached, you know, you've tried to engage them in conversation and they're like, oh, I don't want to spend any money. So they run away from you. And you just kind of like, sometimes you get that point where you're just like, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? And HH is always the guy that will like redirect you and be like, no, you can't look at it that way. Here's what you got to do. You know, he's got such a great positive attitude and is such a great force for comics in his own right. I'm really proud to call you our friend, and it's great to have you here tonight, man.
You got to do it. And just, I don't know who's scrolling the wheel here, but just look at your screen. I mean, look at this stuff. Again, I was fortunate enough to see Gollum. And I read a couple of Gollum stories, and I was just like, "Whoa, I wish this was in the comic book shop." You know what I mean? So really fun stuff. Absolutely fun stuff. This is frankly, this is what comics should be. You know, really fun entertainment. The visuals are there, the fun is there, the story's there. It's entertainment. This is something that you can feel good about when you fork over your cash. And you get this back, and you walk away a happy person, a happy camper. And unfortunately, today's age in comics, you know, you're not assured of that. This is something that used to be a common thing years ago. I remember back when I was picking up comics, I'd go to my corner store. I don't care if it was the candy store, the grocery store, the pharmacy. You can get comics everywhere. And for the most part, I would say if you handed over $5, you were probably going to get back a good 4 or 5 comics. And I'd say about 3 of them were going to be pretty damn good, right? And these days, you're lucky if you go back with 1 of them. And then, you know, that's just a fact. So this is something where you could reach into your pocket and feel good about a purchase. And it's because there's great art. There's really, really fun comic book storytelling happening with a passion, with a great heart behind it. And that's what you need. Comics is about heart, passion, and really great energy. And look at the energy on this page. Do you see anyone sitting around having biscuits and coffee and discussing? You know what I mean? Come on. It's ridiculous. These guys are going to get ready to tear somebody's you-know-what in half. So,
Aurelio, what would you say if Drew gave you a script and they were like, there's 6 pages of characters sitting in here in a coffee shop
having biscuits?
Taste the biscuits.
Taste the biscuit.
Get that lady out here.
You should trade my frame with his frame, since I'm not on camera, because the ticker's like cutting him in half.
Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see. I can do that, right? I can rearrange people.
Yeah.
And you know, these books are in some shops, like they're in Carmine's shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, and someone was asking about who the characters are, and Aaron showed briefly, but yeah, I might as well give a little run through in case you haven't read the first 2 issues. So the gentleman who's at the very top of the page, you can see him in blue, is the Recluse. He's our Spider-Man, John Wick type character. He is super strong, but he also is able to turn into a giant spider as well. Why and everything else, you'll find out eventually. You'll find out. There's a plan. And Jenny the She-Wolf. She's with the Chicago Police Department. And issue 1, she discovers she's able to turn into a werewolf. How? Why? You'll find out eventually. And work her way down. We've got the Trinacria. She is based on Sicilian folklore. She is a young lady possessed by a demon. And very tragic story. We're going to discover that in the Trinacria 10-pager coming out with issue 4. And Father Mario, he is a part of her origin. His origin is very tragic because of what happens when the young lady becomes a Trinacria. And right next to him is Vlad, our Dracula. He's brought in this group together. And next to him, he's our Hulk. He's our Badrock. This is the Golem, who has a very, very, very tragic backstory. If you haven't read the Golem yet.
And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, just look at you're listening to Drew talking here. Look at the dimension and the depth and creativity of these characters, right? And how he's describing them. These aren't characters that are slapped together here to try to tell some kind of story. So much depth and rich color behind all these differences between these characters.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to make sure they're all different and they all speak differently as well, which is it's fun and challenging at the same time. And hey, I got to give a big shout out to Aurelio. Aurelio, he came to me with a lot of these designs for characters, and I'm like, oh, what is this? And he's like, this is an idea for a character I have. It's a story I think we should do. I'm like, I'm in the middle of Born of Blood. I'm thinking we're gonna be going to volume 2. I'm like, Aurelio, I don't know if I got time for this. And but the more we talked about it, I'm like, I think we got something here. And that eventually, we got Unholy Nightmare 1, and now we're on to issue number 3.
Look at this. It's fun. This is fun stuff.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the Chicago Field Museum. Yeah, in the Chicago Field Museum, you cannot have the dinosaur involved. You cannot have the dinosaur reanimated, and get into a fight with the Golem.
Well, what's my philosophy? What's my philosophy about museums, Drew? You know it well. If your museum does not have dinosaurs, your museum is bullshit.
Exactly.
And people are like, but this is a train museum. I'm like, you can put some dinosaurs in here.
Yeah.
This is the Museum of Tolerance. Yeah, I'd like to tolerate some dinosaurs right now.
Yeah, it's not just one page. This is a fight that goes on for several pages. This is a big 30+ page book. So yeah, we made it every bang for your buck in this issue.
Want to congratulate the the artists as well. I mean, look at this stuff. This is just really gorgeous stuff. I mean,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely, the work that you guys put into this is clearly visible here, very evident. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely, congrats.
Thank you.
I keep we keep Aurelio really busy, and it's both great because it's like, I always love to, give work to people that who I think are talented, but also it's infuriating for me because I'm like, we give him too much. And then I'm like, well, I want you to do 6 more things. And, it's like, here's like 6 more scripts you could be working on. And he's like, I'm dying.
Mercy.
There's the fact basically I teach into different school, as you know. I teach on the comic school of my city, and on another school for people with disabilities, where I teach comics. We have published our first comic book created by people with disabilities. They make their own superhero comics. We go sold out on a convention here in Palermo, my city, so I haven't any copies. But this is the reason where sometimes don't write me. I was going, I was dying. I try to go with the adrenaline to reanimate, because in the meantime I must take care of my family too, with my son, my wife. I'm not annoying at all.
Aurelio, are you mentioned Palermo? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, exactly, Sicily.
You might know our artist at Sigma Comics, Renato Pinto.
Honestly, no. Is it from Palermo?
Yeah, he's originally from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
lots
now
of people in Sicily.
Yeah. I thought it was just a couple people there. What are you talking about? It's like right down the road. What are you talking?
It's like I'm like, hey HH, you're in New York. Do you know? You must know Doug Stevens.
No. But in Palermo, we aren't now. Yes, it's more better, especially because there's the school. But not much people there's in Palermo that make comics.
Right.
So all the people that make comics or cartoons, we know each other, everyone,
Right.
for sure. So it's pretty easy that maybe if I meet this Renato, maybe I recognize him, but actually I don't remember because I guess it's a bit older than me. I'm old, maybe.
He's a little younger, probably. He's a younger guy.
Okay, another. It since almost 10 years that in Palermo the comics people is more well known. No,
Right.
makes sense.
There you go.
Well, there's a great comic tradition in Italy. Here, the Disney license bounces around from comic book publisher to comic book publisher, but there's a new Topolino every month in Italy. With brand new Disney comics.
Yeah, a lot. It's the most well-known comics, actually.
Well, and you're telling me about Dylan Dog. I'm like, I was aware of a Dylan Dog movie with Brandon Routh, but I'm like, a comic book series? What is this?
That's pretty different. So my advice is forget the movies and go to read the comics. No. Then we have Dylan Dog because Bonelli is an important editor in Italy. So yeah, I know there was the movies, but it's better Bonelli forget about. He said there's a legend that when they showed him the trailer, he said, "Oh my God, no! Oh my God!" Because
it got
totally
Hollywood.
different. This is a big potential, especially because Kevin Morrow, directing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, was a pretty good director, but I think they missed the point with Dylan Dog because it's totally different, especially because here in Italy, on Dylan Dog there is his sidekick. It's Groucho. And this likeness is like Groucho Marx, exactly the same. Because in Italy we haven't problem with the likeness of actor or similar. In the USA, looks like it's a bit different. So Groucho Marx family asked for money to use Groucho's likeness. So in the movie, they deleted him. And this is a big important character for Dylan Dog.
Tommy, I'm going to step away for a minute. I'm going to risk it all by saying that you are a much better interviewer than I am. So if you could take the lead here for a moment, I would appreciate it.
Oh. Yeah, and when you come back, I'll have to take off. I gotta go pick up my mother-in-law.
Okay, cool.
Well,
yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this art here, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you look at the panel here, you just mentioned Tommy. Tommy's a great guy. He's got a great channel and does wonderful interviews. And he had me on the show. Drew is surrounded by a bunch of good people. He's got great art, great people like Tommy, who's cultivating the culture of comics and really championing the good stuff out there and really sending a message out to the people who, in many cases, they haven't, learned about these projects. They haven't found it because, as I mentioned before, comics were available in so many places. Now they're not. So it's people like Tommy, people like Wes on Thinking Critical, people like Perch on his show, Comics by Perch. There's quite a few of them out there that are really developing this wonderful culture and doing something, creating platforms to allow creators like Drew, creators like myself, and Aaron, so that we can continue putting out these wonderful books and growing our audiences and telling these wonderful stories that have texture, that have grit, that have character, the whole superhero, anti-hero concept, and really taking it above and beyond. And that's something that I personally, I could say, as a creator, I'm very thankful for. And, Drew and Aaron, keep doing what you're doing because you're only getting better.
Thanks,
Dude,
man.
I hope you get a chance to one day read my comic and enjoy it and then tell people about it, because you're really good at selling someone's product, man.
Oh, you should see him
Came out
at
of
work at a
fog.
convention. Oh man, woo, man, he
I'm
can
scared
sell.
to walk by the booth because I already own everything and I end up buying like a second one. I'm like, how am I doing this?
Hey, listen, it's all about the comics. You know, when you have when you got to love the comics, right? And then you got to love the people that are behind. You know, when I first got into this a few years back, I had no idea about who was this politics, who was that. For me, it was all about who's doing good comics, you know. And I didn't know all these names. All I knew who Frank Miller was. I knew who Klaus Janson was. I knew who Mike Barron was. These are the people I knew. And all I try to do is absorb and learn, because that's what we are. We're students. We're students of the medium. And if we can surround ourselves people who are truly passionate, who truly take the work seriously, it's very important. You got to take the work seriously. There's people, it's only a comic book. It's only, no. Let me help you understand something, kid. You have to understand that this could be potentially the biggest motivator, the biggest energy generator for you, to inspire you to do something bigger. That's what comics is. Comics, you know, we're not born with instruction manuals as kids. You see what I'm saying? As kids, you know, those of us who are lucky, who had parents, but you know, not all of us have this, and we're not, like I said, we're not born with instruction manuals. Those who fall into religion, we have the book that could be instruction manual. But the truth is, there are many instruction manuals out there. And one of the most important ones for kids growing up is the comic book. You get that comic book into that kid's hands, that can get into their heart, into their mind, and help them overcome so many things that they encounter day to day. Like me, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up fighting pretty much every day. And, you know, I didn't have an older brother. You know what I had, though? I had comics. And I learned, believe it or not, life lessons just from reading comic books on heroism, how to be brave, how to be tough, how to get through difficult circumstances. And that's why I have to tell you, you know, for me, that they were my instruction manual, you know. So,
you know, you say that now. I didn't grow up in the Bronx. I grew up in Missouri, but I also grew up in a children's hospital, like orthopedic, and it was comic books that got me through it. You know, a comic book shop owner would donate them to the hospital. And the first one I picked up was the 1989, I think it was issue 19 Huntress, with her on the cover back before they gave her pants. You know, she was still looking hot and badass. And you had Batman behind her in the shadows. And it gave me not just the stories about heroism and learning how to deal with your problems, but it gave me a chance to escape my reality and cope with it and deal with it. So I completely agree with everything you say. Right. And I can confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is true and it does work.
Right. I believe it was Wes who called comics, you know, American mythology. And I think it's true.
Yes.
You know, it's very true.
Yes.
You know,
it's an American, it's an American medium. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
It's American mythology. It's really great stuff.
I believe in that. I believe in that so much that one of my stories blends that old ancient Greek mythology in with the new, because I believe in that entirely. You're absolutely onto something.
Indeed. You know, studies prove it, the power of prayer, right? So for those not aware, I used to be a professional athlete, and praying and just, you know, believing in a higher power that sometimes you're just going to have to tap into at some point, because you are going to reach lows in whatever sport you play. The studies show unequivocally that those of us who either pray or tap deeper into a spiritual essence that we believe is a higher power are more successful in a multitude of endeavors, health-wise and achievements, whether they be work and or sports activities. than non-believers. And I think true believers, that statement there by Stan
Wow.
Lee, the true believers, when you tap into that, right?
I feel like Aaron and I just got confirmation on a conversation we were having earlier just now.
Yeah, so we were just talking about this earlier today. We were
Yeah.
trading texts back and forth, and it's exactly like what you're talking about, HH. You know, the fact
Right.
that and that's one of the things that's beautiful about comic books. It's like I didn't grow up in I didn't grow up with a dad in the house until I was a teenager. You know, that I had a very good stepfather come in, but my mother was a lunatic, and he came in and he gave us structure, and he gave us morality. But until then, my morality was the occasional time when my mom would get caught doing something, and I would go to church to try to cover all of her cover all of her sins. That was the only time that I ever heard any kind of like morality aside from comic books. I was reading Captain America. I was reading Green Lantern. I was reading G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is a loyalty fantasy. I was learning about the band of brotherhood. With Captain America, I was learning about, American values and what it means to be an upstanding citizen. Same thing with Green Lantern, what it means to stand and, to stand for something. And I think that's part of the reason that comic books have been so under attack for the last several years, because it is a way to get to the kids. And we just saw somebody who ran a comic art museum. We talked a little bit about it on the show this week, Wes and I, and I'm sure it'll come up tomorrow on Aficionados. But a guy who ran the comic art museum, and what was he doing? He got caught trying to tape kids in his own bathroom. So
he admitted to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not an allegedly statement. That is like he said that he got caught and he did it, and he called it a momentary lapse of judgment. But let's be real here. A momentary lapse of judgment is you come home, your roommate is changing, and you see them, and then you don't look away right away. You stand there for a moment, and then you're like, oh my, momentary lapse in judgment. Setting up a premeditated setting up of a camera to record people in your bathroom. That's not a momentary lapse of judgment.
That's planned.
That's a premeditated plan.
Wow.
He was one of the blacklisters. He was one of the guys, who was leading that charge, like a Heather Antos. There you go.
Thinks that the lady doth protest too much.
That's crazy.
So it's one of the reasons that's like, I don't have, when comics became so political, it's like people like they had alliances. They don't have friends. I have friends.
Yeah.
I make friends in the comic book industry. I don't need allies because I'm not out there, I'm not out there serving any agenda aside from I want to make great comics. I want to have great relationships with the fans of those comics. I want to connect with people. And if you're somebody who comes to me and you're like, I want to create a comic, I've got these ideas, I want to try to help you to the best of my ability and to the best of the time that I have available. I've helped a lot of up and coming creators over the years, in the last couple of years too, since I've been.
So real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Drew, you can't say real quick and then not talk.
We're well over halfway.
Not very quick.
Our goal. Sorry, there's a delay. There's a delay. Sorry, we're over halfway to our goal. We're about a little less 1,200 away from our goal.
That's great.
And what points that HH was hitting on is that in Unholy Nightmare, a lot of my stories, there are going to be biblical elements. A lot of elements where you're dealing with redemption, regret, and remorse, and just forgiveness. That's all going to be coming up in the series, because what we're going to be getting into in issue 5 of Unholy Nightmare, we're going to get a little bit more of the backstories. And let's just say Recluse, he doesn't have a very clean history, and so there's going to be a lot of those elements coming into play. And on the other note, what's that?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it's me, HH. I was just going to say, the other thing about what you guys are doing here with the campaign is, we were talking a little bit about it just now, the inspirational part. But you have people who are waiting on these books, and they get pretty passionate about this and emotional about the stories. They're waiting for the next issue. I just got somebody here who said, from England, the kid is autistic, okay? And just same as what you have here. It's a Kickstarter. for our latest book, Unwanted Men. And the mother's like, listen, you know, my kid has autism and he loves your book, this and that. So we send him a signed book. The mother says, you know what? This is the best thing. Thank you so much. You have no idea. This is the same thing you're doing for all these kids that you're creating these books for. You're giving them hope. You're giving them something wonderful that is outside of a tangible product that they could just get at a store. What you're giving them is inspiration and a wonderful story.
That's awesome.
No, that's one of the most gratifying things about this is, you know, when James Silvani and I were working on Darkwing Duck, we were at a show, and you know, I've told this story a few times, but it still kind of like gets me. You know, even though I've told it multiple times now, is it's like this girl came over to the table, you know, young girl, probably, you know, maybe 18, 19 at the most. And she was holding like her comics, and she was shaking as she came up to the table. And we were like, you know, hey, you know, how are you? You know, nice to see you. And like, she started crying, like meeting us. And James and I were both like taken aback because we're like, oh my God, did we do something to upset her? You know, it's like, what did we do? And then she started to explaining, you know, through her tears that like these comic books that we did, you know, she was a huge Darkwing fan. She was so excited when she found out that the comics were announced. And she had been picking them up. And she told us that like, she had been going through a really hard time in her life as a teenager, and she had actually thought about killing herself, about taking her own life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
These books were the thing that kept her going. And, you know, and she had gotten herself to a better place. And it was just such a powerful moment, because it's like, you know, we were having fun and we were doing the book, and we knew that we wanted to do a good book that was, you know, pleasing to Darkwing fans because we were fans. And, you know, we wanted them to have a good time, but we had never considered that level of impact on somebody's
That's
life.
Incredible.
And it's like, I never forget that, because it always reminds me, you know, it's like I'm doing Doomface. That's my own book. That's my own property. But it reminds me that when you take on a property that you don't own, there's already a pre-existing fan base for that. And that's one of the things that we rail against with, you know, movies and TV shows. Why would you come in to a pre-existing fan base and change it or pervert it or make it something other than what it is? You have a responsibility, because that girl was a huge Darkwing fan. So she loved what we delivered because it felt like Darkwing to her. She said, I can hear the actors, voices. And that's what we strived for. And it's like, that is an honor, and that is a gift.
Yes.
That's an incredible story, Aaron.
It's a big responsibility that you have. Anytime you're going to touch someone emotionally, like Drew's doing here, like Aaron's doing here with these projects, you know, there's so many wonderful analogies, but one of them is, you know, like relationships. When you create a book like this, you're opening up a window into a different world that's going to bring intelligence. You have to process, right? Because it could be some kind of mystery component, some horror component, but also emotions. Anytime you're doing that, you're touching someone personally. And once you have that connection with another person, now you're building a relationship. This is why some of these people, they feel like they know you and or the characters, because now there's a connection there. And the anticipation is very, very great. It's a beautiful thing that you're able to do when you create. It's like a bridge that you're creating, and you're doing hundreds of them, thousands of them, depending on how well, you know, the book does. And it's up to you. It's your responsibility, as the word, to cultivate that and create really wonderful things based off of that. You know, I just saw this thing from there's a channel called Clownfish TV. I don't know if you guys ever see this guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I've known Neon and Cam for years.
Yeah, well, I just went and got my car earlier today, and they were talking about the Supergirl movie, and they said, well, listen, it's a good movie, but it's not a Supergirl movie. And that's what I'm saying, what you just finished saying. It's a responsibility that you have if you have to create from this character that has an existing customer base, okay? What Drew and Aaron are doing here, they're creating their original customer base, and they have to now maintain the integrity of that, so that if anyone else comes in, those individuals then have to have that responsibility charged by Aaron and Drew for this. Now, this is a wonderful new concept here that they're cultivating for this, and that needs to be 100%, so that you now have a platform to build on for the years to come.
Yeah, no,
God, you're really good at that.
Yeah, it's a responsibility I'm glad to take, and I love the challenge and the responsibility. And when you talk about having an emotional investment in stories, like I challenge anyone to read the Golem and not come away, being moved slightly, just slightly being moved from what happens in that book. I guarantee you will be impacted by that story. I am incredibly proud of it. I know Aaron is as well.
Yeah, we took a lot of time. I mean, we had. Because it does deal with a very sensitive topic, and I joke all the time. I say, Doc, on Doomface, Doc is my insensitivity reader. But like Doc's like, no, make it more offensive. But with the subject matter of the Golem, we had somebody read over it. And just kind of like give us some feedback, because a very sensitive topic that was the backdrop for the story. And it's like, we don't want to, we wanted to make sure that we got it right. And I think that, just judging by the, you don't really know until the, you know how you feel about it, but you don't know how it's going to affect other people. And judging by the reviews that we got back, I think we got it right.
Yeah, we hit a home run with it. I'm going to say, from the reviews we've gotten on it. And I am incredibly proud of it. It's one of those where I can say we can proudly hold it up to any other like EC comic, from like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, shock suspense stories, and it would fit well into that library. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep championing that book until the day I die and afterwards. I love it.
Yep. That's what you have to do. And whenever you take it, there, it doesn't matter what medium it is, whether it be a show, email, website, have that same passion, and always make sure to tell as much as you can about that story in an impactful way. And you're going to see, you're going to carry on and cultivate that audience with that book.
Speaking of impactful, I just want to introduce another member of the panel here. We have our good friend Josh McDonald. Josh, what is going on?
Josh! What's up?
Josh!
Hello.
Look at that. I've never been on a stream with you before, Josh. He doesn't even recognize me because I'm not on camera.
He wouldn't recognize you if you send him your picture right now.
Well, I took the mask off, so.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I hit her with an invitation, Josh, and she had just put a face mask on, so it would have looked like she was coming on in blackface.
Wait, who is it? I still don't even know who it is.
It's
Danny
Danny
Zombie from Comics Ann.
Yeah, what's up? Nice to see you, or I guess not see you, but
hear me.
Yeah, there we go.
And Josh, since you're on camera, we've brought you up a little bit in the stream. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing well. Just got home. Try to get my rowdy dogs to chill out, so I can hop on here.
Wait, you have 2 dogs now?
Yeah, I've got 2, and then I've got one of my parents' dogs with me right now. So, yeah, it's a house full of dogs.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to take off. I have a convention that I need to prepare for tomorrow in Jersey. So I want to first, before I leave, thank everybody on the panel. And before I leave, I want to say kudos to the team. This looks incredible. The artists, the creative team, the writers. You guys did a bang-up job, and you deserve every wonderful thing you're going to get, because already you're almost at your goal. And I hope you get it very soon today. And keep kicking butt. You guys are on the right path, and we're going to support you every step of the way.
Thanks, HH. Trying to keep up with you, man. Trying to keep up with you.
HH, sorry I missed you, brother.
Hey, absolutely. Next time, Josh, you got it.
HH, real quick before you go.
Yes.
What show are you at tomorrow? Where can people come and find you?
Thank you. Tomorrow it's going to be Garden State Comic Fest in New Jersey. That's going to be West Orange, New Jersey. And it's a 2-day show. That's about as short as we do. They only did it because it's only right across the river there. And if you're in the West Orange area, that's going to be I don't even know if it's West. I think it's West Jersey, Southwest Jersey there. Definitely stop on by. You guys are Metro, New York. Anybody in New York City Metro could stop by. It's a really wonderful comic book focused show. So you're not going to see many celebrities there. You're going to see comic book celebrities there. In fact, I think, I was going to say, I thought maybe JR, but he's going to Super Jersey, which that's another show. But there's some good comic book folk. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But of course, HH is going to be there.
That's right. That's all you need to know.
You can see us there. So thank you once again. Appreciate you. And of course, I'll always chime in tomorrow with my super chat. And wishing everybody the best here and kick butt on Unholy Nightmare 3, baby. Go get it. Get it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Give my love to Casey, HH.
Absolutely. See you later, guys.
So
Bye.
See you, man.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off
can-
too. I gotta go pick up
Yeah.
something from the airport, but it was nice meeting those that I have met before, and congratulations on issue 3. It's dope.
Yeah, no, appreciate you, Tommy. We'll keep
Thank you.
we'll keep fighting to help you get your channel back. We'll keep putting it out there. I'm gonna message a couple of other bigger YouTubers and see if they can signal boost it.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you.
Later, Johnny.
Yeah, take it easy,
See you,
guys.
man.
Bye.
I kept trying to chime in to say that I have to go because but everyone beat me to it, and now I feel kind of like an a-hole because
No, we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us.
Go.
Yeah.
But I have felt kind of like Dookie all week, and yeah, you heard me blow my nose, so
Yeah,
that
you've been so
you know,
sick.
yeah, that was entirely on purpose. I meant to do that. So while people were speaking, that was intentional. It was intentional. So
Well, thank
All
you so
right.
much
Thank
for joining
you.
us, Danny, and we will see
Yeah,
you
thank
next
you
week
for
on
asking
Comics
me.
Aficionados.
yes, I'm very
Yes, nice
excited
meeting you,
about
Danny.
that. It was nice
Bye.
meeting you, and good luck.
Bye.
This book looks so freaking cool. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, and real quick in the chat, we've got Russ Cassidy. Russ in the chat, he helped set up the Kickstarter page. Russ, hey, what's going on, man?
Rusty.
And,
I saw Bill
and
Williams was in here too.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Bill Williams, our letterer for issue 3 of Unholy Nightmare. There he is. He's in the book.
I owe Bill so many so many notes. I'm surprised he's not here in the chat going, yeah, Sparrow, what are you doing on this stream? Why aren't you getting me notes?
Yeah, so you got to think about all the projects he's doing for us right now, like all the Unholy Nightmares, Silent Nights. Whenever he's doing with you,
Vengeance of Viv Inspector. You know, he's. I've got another logo. I want him to give me some ideas for. Like, there's just Bill is one of the hardest working men in comic books.
Yes, one of the best. And hey, here it is, the Leslie Lyrics cover right here from lovely Resri Ree. And,
yes, this is only. By the way, Leslie Lyrics Lee. I'm going to start calling her Triple L.
No.
It's like Triple H, but more feminine.
So Leslie, what are you drawing right now?
This is Jenny when she's not a wolf.
Ooh.
Oh, here, let me make her.
I'm just-
Let me
yes,
make her full
I thought.
screen here. Let's see.
Oh yeah, let's make it bigger. Yeah.
It's not very pretty. I'm sorry. I tried.
Don't downplay your work. Your
Lies.
stuff is great. So solo layout. There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
see, that's pretty.
Wow.
Hold
there
on.
we go.
Hold on. Newcomers, please look at my awesome table mat.
No, just this one.
Also, Josh, I'm a big fan. I've been watching you stream every Thursday. Yes.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of you too, Leslie. I love seeing you in the chat. So
What's your Thursday night show, Josh? Since we brought it up.
it is a floppy drop. So I get with the old Dolan Drewski over here, and we talk about that week's comics and whether they're worth dropping in the bag or dropping in a bin.
And as always, I love that you've come up with a double entendre for your show.
Absolutely, it wouldn't be my show if I didn't do that.
We were just talking about Dallas Fan Expo, and I was having trouble remembering. I was like, were we there last year? Or was it 2 years ago? How long has it been?
It was we were there last year, but it feels like it's been way long. Last year was the West year,
Yeah.
and then I ended up like feeling like poop for half the time, so that was no fun.
You and Wes and I were all like, I was on my broken foot, so
Yes,
I
that's
was in
right.
pain. I was wearing the stupid boot, and then Wes had plantar fasciitis,
Yeah.
So he was hobbling around, and then you were sick. It's like we still somehow all had a great time. But it's like all the odds were stacked against us.
Yeah. That's great. It feels like it's been way longer than a year. I was thinking about it the other day because I was like, aren't I usually doing something around May, June? And I was like, oh, Dallas Fan Expo. But yeah.
Yeah, I was like, aren't we supposed to be going back? And then I was like, but no, not this year because they're doing the construction. That was why we had decided not to.
Correct. Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, so next year.
I think that's the plan. Yes.
Kaiser's here saying, "Sup, Joshy?"
What's up, Kaiser?
Although
So,
I will say that earlier Kaiser was like, best thing about this stream, Josh isn't here.
Right. Sounds about right. Kaiser, I'm gonna
Hey,
downgrade West's stream tomorrow too, buddy. So be
Oh,
ready.
are you with us tomorrow? Cool.
Yes.
You've been like semi. I feel like you've been like what the last 3 shows. Yeah, it'll be tomorrow.
This past Saturday and then the one tomorrow.
Oh,
I
okay.
originally wasn't going to be on this past week, and then I think someone dropped out, so Wes threw a Hail Mary, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, we've had 2 dropouts the last 2 weeks, and I think it's the same. I think it's the same person.
Gotcha.
I think they just get they want to be on the show, but then something comes up.
Fair.
All right, and dropped acid and hijacked a school bus full of penguins. Kind of a crisis. Sorry, got to go.
If I had $1 for every time that's happened.
Aaron, could you please? Yes.
Yeah, there we go. I was good. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. It's like, how did I do this? Now, how do I put us back on the sides?
It's there, not there, there.
This is why at least once or
there.
twice when Drew's like, hey, you want to do a launch stream for this? I'm like, can Josh do it? He's so much better at this than I am.
I don't know about that, but there should be an area where you look and you're selecting your screens. There should be like a little mini box on there that's like
Mhm.
and if you click it, I think it minimizes it back down.
Okay. Let's see. Watch me mess this up.
Hey, Bill, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for popping into chat,
Yeah.
man. Thank you. Appreciate it, Bill. And yeah, working on a Soul Finder graphic novel for Doug. Congratulations on that, man. See, hardest working, one of the hardest working letterers in comics.
Yeah, no, he's like he's doing all our stuff.
Yeah.
He's doing Vengeance and Vincent Spector for me, which I actually did. Bill, I did look at the draft. I have some notes, some things that I want to rewrite because I thought they looked good in the script, but now that I'm seeing them on the page, I don't like them as much. So just some rewordings and things like that I'll get over to you.
Thank you, Blanket Shipping Comics. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. And yeah, Aaron Sparrow is awesome. I can vouch for that.
Whoever's getting the call, tell them I said hi.
That was me. Sorry.
Carmen just go in there and go, hey, Aaron Sparrow says what's up. And they'll be like, what? What the hell is that?
So in case anyone's popping in just now and you're not reading it, but Katya is one of our exclusive covers we are offering, thanks to Xavier at Night of Comics. And along with the Katya cover, we are offering signatures and remarks with her cover. So yes, if you're going to decide to go down that route, where those are going to be fulfilled at Dallas Fan Expo, ironically enough, later this year. So you have to wait a little bit. So everything else, if you order other books, those will be fulfilled first, and then there'll be a little bit of a wait for the Katya, if you got that too.
Yeah, the Katya one, really, really nice. I'm really excited about Leslie's 48-hour cover. I was super psyched when you told me that we were going to have that. I think that I think that's cool. I like that. I like the 48-hour covers. It and we've had the campaign up, like people kind of knew when it was coming. And I think if you're going to do like a timed exclusive like that, it is always good to let your audience know, the campaign's coming up, here's where it is. So they can kind of go, okay, like here's the paycheck that I need to, if I want to jump in on that. So then when you do a 48-hour cover, nobody feels like they're getting left out in the cold. They've had time to think about it.
Exactly. And I think as soon as I saw it, I'm like, there's no way this couldn't be a cover. It has to be. And because anything that Leslie does, everything from a sketch, or a simple sketch to like a little cat to this beautiful piece she did up here, it's beautiful. It's printable on a cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of something, but like it reminds me of like a movie poster that I've seen. I don't think it's an homage of that, but it reminds me of one. I just can't place it. Carmine, I wanted to ask you. You for those just joining us, you own Sophie's Timeless Treasures out there in Jersey, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you carry Unholy Nightmare. You're going to be carrying Kneel Before Doomface for your customers. Whereabouts in Jersey is the store located?
The store isn't my store. It is the Fat Moose Comics. It's in East Hanover, New Jersey, which is really close to Morristown, New Jersey. Store's been there for about 40 years, and became really good friends over the years with the owner, Sean. And just recently, he okayed us to put in a display for Unholy Nightmare. And we have issues 1 and 2 there right now, and we're looking to hopefully bring all the issues there, and hopefully get his customers into actually reading the comics and appreciating the story. So, but I just recently, for these types of exclusives, I just teamed up with a good friend of mine, Caleb Humphrey, and we formed what we're calling a premium brand, our premium brand, which is Omega Comics Coalition. And that's where we're doing all of our exclusives and anything that, like your Hulk 181s, your Grails, those type of books will be on that website, the Omega website. And, we're looking forward to continue working with Dolan. He's been awesome. And obviously I read the Golem again the other night, and I literally had tears in my eyes by the time I was done, and it was just an awesome story. And those are the types of stories that I like and remember from when I was a kid. Nowadays, it seems like everybody's just concerned with the cover art, and no one opens the book. So that's what I love about Dolan's work and writing, is that it makes you want to open a book and make you want to read it and appreciate the art at the same time.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Drew.
Oh, sorry. So this came from an anecdote I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast. This is the story, the Golem. David Lee Roth, former lead singer of Van Halen, he was being interviewed, and he was telling him that David Lee Roth had said his vocal coach was a Holocaust concentration camp survivor, and he would frequently perform for the SS officers of that camp. And he had said that he had to be perfect every night he performed there, because if he screwed up once, he was dead. He knew it. And that's why David Roth said his coach always expected perfection out of him because of that. And when I heard that story, I'm like, okay, but what if he did screw up in that camp? What would have happened that one time, the one small mistake, the one only time? And that's what we get here. A musical performer performs beautifully, but he may have one small mistake.
Yeah, it's really kind of interesting to just when you hear those stories and they stay with you and they stay in the back of your head, and then later they come back to you and you're like, well, I'm writing this thing, and then you're like, oh, I could tap into that thing that that I heard, and I think that's what makes great writers is you catalog all these things and you file them away in your mind, and you hang on to them so that you can then use them in stories. It's why I love listening to people talk, just even when I'm out. Hearing people's conversations. And it's why you get into an Uber and I want to talk to the driver. Oh, you got an accent? Where are you from? You're not from here? Where did you come over from? And you get to hear their story. And I think that's one of the, Josh, do you find that, because you were a screenwriter, you'd come out here to be a screenwriter, and obviously, you're writing things now, you're writing some stuff for us even. Do you find that being curious is probably the best tool you can have as a writer?
Absolutely. Just in general, sometimes when I'm talking to people, I just find people fascinating. What makes them different, what makes them unique, and I'll find myself asking questions just because I find people fascinating and I'm curious. And sometimes it's a turnoff for people because like, why are you asking so many questions? I'm like, oh no, I'm just genuinely like, I think this is really cool, and I'm learning and seeing from a different perspective. But yeah, no, I like to look into different things. I listen to different podcasts. So like if I'm working on something, whatever that theme is, I start trying to absorb as much as I can, whether it's books or interviews or podcasts or even other films, just to kind of get different perspectives. But I think the more curious I am, the more confident I become in what I want. So,
I think that's important. I think that when you meet writers too, and you're like, yeah, I read this writer's stuff, and they're not very good, and like you read them at a con, or you meet them at a con, and then you're kind of talking to them, and you're like, oh yeah, they have no curiosity whatsoever about anything. You're like, this explains a lot.
Yeah, when you're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, fine.
So it's funny you say that, Aaron, because I remember when I was still in the Air Force, my very first year in 2004, I had a new guy just gotten to our base. He was stationed in California originally. He was really into comics. He had just gone to San Diego. He had met Jeff Johns and Jeff Loeb, and he told him he was in the Air Force, and Jeff Johns was like, oh, really? So I guess him, Jeff Johns, Jeff Loeb were just shooting the shit for like an hour, 2 hours. And that's when Jeff Johns was working on Green Lantern, the series. So he was just asking him all these questions about the Air Force, and like, what is this like? What is it? How does this work? What does that work? And yeah, there you go. And there you have it.
Shout outs to Rock and Joshy Billups in the chat, including mine.
Yeah.
This comic was a complete piece of crap, but it's one of the best comics I've ever read. You guys should pick it up. It's a Rock and Joshy Billups review.
Yeah,
Go spend money on this total turd that I hated.
Oh gosh. To kind of get to what you were kind of talking about with curiosity too, I kind of want to go back to the very first launch stream for Unholy Nightmare. Like, I think part of the fun that I had with that was trying to understand where Drew and Aurelio were coming from and what inspired them to tell the story. Because I always think that's interesting. Like usually when you decide you have a story to tell, something has inspired you or sparked your interest, and that always gets me curious. Like what was that moment or that thing? And the fact that they were both kind of bringing together different ideas for what they wanted to do and just a love of horror, but also like concepts for the characters. I thought it was a lot of fun just kind of learning, like I know Drew pretty well. I know his background. I know his love for horror. I'd never really gotten to speak to Aurelio. So getting to hear his perspective and his things and some of the stuff that he brought to the table, I was like, dude, this is just fascinating. So,
yeah, no, when Aurelio first told me, because he and Drew told me about the same time, because I had actually introduced them because we had lost the artist on Born of Blood. And I said, who'd be really good is Aurelio Mazzara, who I've worked with. We'd worked together over at Ape Entertainment. And I said, I think he's got the right sensibility where the art change won't be too jarring, but it'll, but he's great. It'll look great. And so I'd introduced them. And then around the same time, I think both Aurelio told me, and then Drew told me. Drew was like, Aurelio really wants to work with me on this idea that he has. And then Aurelio was like, I asked Olin to work with me on this idea that I have. And so it was like, I got to see from both perspectives, like them kind of like coming together with their ideas and merging them into one.
Especially, I didn't draw comics since lots of years when I contacted you and you proposed me for Burn of Blood. So I must thank you to let me come back to draw comics.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I loved working with you, and I like to work with people I know that are dependable and that are talented, and obviously that's one of the best things in the industry is when you know that somebody can deliver, and you know that they're not going to leave you like holding the bag, like halfway through a book, be like, I'm not going to finish it, and you're like, oh, what? And the artist that we lost, that's not what he did. I don't want anybody to go away with that impression. He had some health crisis come up, and so he did have to take time to for himself, and that was fine. But it was like, I don't like to lose an artist mid not even just mid book, but mid run, mid arc. Yeah. I like to have a continuity. Even if you switch out, like, I would rather go 3 issues with one artist than 3 issues with another artist, and then 3 issues back to the original artist if they need time. Like I would rather do that. I don't like to do 3 issues, 1 issue with a different artist, 2 issues with the original artist. I don't like to break it up that way. I would rather have some continuity. And so that was one of the things that was really great, is because I think that Aurelio's style is more polished than the artist that we were using, but it had enough of the same quality to the kind of the style that I would say that like some readers probably didn't even like feel like there was a hiccup. You just stepped right in, you made the book your own.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I am incredibly proud of that 5th issue. I worked my ass off on that script. Aaron knows that there was a certain place where I was at the time. A lot of crap had started coming to light behind the scenes, and I was pissed. And I put all my effort into that script, and in Aurelio, he brought it to life, and it's just one of those. And thanks to Aurelio, I've got the over here on my wall. I've got the original thumbnails to issue 5 framed on my wall, because that's one of those like I'm proudly display. I'm like that's the one. That's the first issue. I can say I can prove any naysayer wrong. That was where I had not really a come to Jesus moment, but like really a step my game up. I think Aaron would agree with that.
Well, I mean, I still think that like there's a book that's yet to come out, except in like preview editions at cons, that you wrote. That when I read it, when Josh read it, when Max read it, I think we all came back to you separately with the same thing, where we're like, "This is the most solid script you have ever written." Like this is. I think I even told you, I was like, I have like 1 or 2 notes that are just minor, like minor sentence structure suggestions, but otherwise no notes. And so like you definitely did have that fire kind of lit under you, and it's great to see. Like I love the fact that that this book is going so well. People are responding to it. You guys continue to deliver. Here we are on book 3. I'm really excited to be working on it. Plus, we got Rockin' Joshy Billups writing a backup for one of the characters.
Woo, woo.
Who, by the way, I wanted to say that character, Trinacria, Chuck Skills was in the chat. I meant to mention it earlier, but I kind of sidetracked. He said that he loves the design of Trinacria so much he wants to do some fan art for her, which I can't wait to see, because he did a piece of fan art for Doomface that I absolutely loved. So he doesn't have skills in his name as a misnomer. That he definitely got some skills.
Absolutely.
This isn't a stream about that, but we were talking about curiosity earlier, and when I went to go write that, I had to look up Trinacria, and then when I looked up the image and saw what it really is, I was like, why the hell would they have this? And it just turned into this deep dive of what is this? Why is it this? How did this come about? But for me, it was so much fun. So to learn, to learn.
I'm really glad you like. Lots of people in USA, because here in Sicily, she was pretty recognizable, because the Trinacria is a big symbol. But lots of people ask, why she have the legs around his head? Why she?
That was a big part.
Yeah. It's something I would like to explore, the fact of the legs. Let's see. I must start with Dolan first, of course. But there's a reason for everything. Yeah. Sometimes in the future we could discover. But I'm really glad you like it. Really glad it was because I wanted at the beginning everything started with the Recluse and Jenny. Then, as Dolan reminds, we needed another female characters, and I started to think about at the beginning. I talked about a witch, a demons, etc. And then I said, I have the Trinacria, because my very first approach to the Trinacria was made. I wanted to making a superhero comic to propose here from some newspaper, from a superhero called Trinacria, but never used it, so don't worry about. So everything was on my sketchbook. Sooner or later, when I find it, I'll show around. And I asked Dolan, what about to use the Trinacria? I had explained the the fact of the Gorgon, the demons, etc. We have changed a bit the origins. But I'm pretty prude. We use her.
Yeah, and that origin story, the art in that origin story for the Trinacria, it looks so beautiful too. We've been so blessed to work with so many amazing artists on this series so far, with every tie-in main series. And Josh has told a great story for that, and I just all these stories I cannot wait for people to read. They are amazing. We're working so far ahead.
This is totally a coincidence, but I have her tattooed on my arm. Not the full body. I'll show you guys. Maybe I could show you.
Wait, let me make you. Let's see. I'm going to maximize you here.
There's Maximize the Gun Show.
Oh,
Hey, there she is.
wow.
Look at that.
yeah.
Wow.
That is awesome.
There she is.
That's how much I love the book.
That's awesome.
I actually got that tattoo when I was 18 years old. And I just all these years later, and I saw that character, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that looks like my tattoo." Dolan told me about it a little bit, and I was like, "That really is my tattoo." So, I wish I had the rest of the body on there, but yeah, I got that when I was 18 years old, and all these years later. Back then, I had we were all proud of being Italian, so we had the Italian, all the jewelry, the gold, the 100% Sicilian charms, and on the front plate of our cars. I grew up in Florida, so the license plates you didn't need a plate on the front of your car, so we would have special plates, and I had like 100% Sicilian, all this stuff. But yeah, so all these years later, now I'm involved in a comic book, great story that has that character.
See, that's crazy. I just looked it up too, the original image for the first time since Josh said that, and I was like, oh, all right, okay, I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on this as well, because I didn't look at. I've just accepted like your guys' version of it. I did not look into the history of it at all. I'm just like, okay, this is what it is.
I didn't know what it was when I got the tattoo. My parents were best friends with some folks named Platterati, and they owned Platterati's Deli. And when I used to go into Deli, and they used to have pictures and stickers and such, and that the Trinacria figure there was one of the stickers that they gave me when I was a kid, and I just kept it, for I don't know how many years. And then when I turned 18, I'm like, I'm getting a tattoo. So that was it.
Aurelio, it's on your flag, right? Your Sicilian flag, or
for the Sicilian, yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Sicilian flag.
I just generally speaking, I think this is one of the cool things about Unholy Nightmare in general is you have all these monsters here that have their basis and foundation in a much deeper lore. I mean, like, yeah, you've got,
That's true. Yes.
You've got Vlad, but who is Vlad? And we're kind of pulling from, that lore that's there. And same with Trinacria, and same with the Gaul. Like, all these things are creatures that have been around in narrative for decades or hundreds of years. So it's fun to just see Drew and Aurelio kind of come and take these things and put a cool, like, fresh spin on them. And then I always mention that like 90s Saturday morning cartoon vibe of just like, all right, got some horror elements here. There's a basis and foundation and depth to these characters. Just be patient. But while you're being patient, we're going to give you a lot of fun, like crazy action. So
thank you.
Yeah, I want everyone to have fun. I want this to be a fun reading experience. I don't want this to feel like work, and I don't want it to feel like a straight up just horror comic, because we all know Aaron, me, Aurelio, Josh, Leslie. Horror comics can be very alienating. Horror comics can be a very hard sell, and that's why I try to tell people, hey, this is a superhero horror story, and so you're going to get the big Image Comics over the top action and some horror elements as well, and that it tends to shift people's thought patterns on the book, which is good, because it can be difficult a lot of times selling a book like this.
Yeah, it's like I like to show people. By the way, we've crossed the 2,000 mark. We're at $2,037 right now, 37 backers. So we are closing in. We're with 2/3 of the book, in 2/3 of our goal on the stream, which is fantastic. Appreciate everybody. And, that's the other thing about, HH talked about it earlier, and I kind of wanted to expand on it, is, one of the things that we really enjoy. Like Drew will tell you, I hate traveling to conventions. I cannot stand it. But I love being at a convention, and I love meeting everybody. And, I love talking to people. So, one of the things that we're really appreciative of is, the 37 people that have pledged, the people that plan to pledge, even the people that you're like, hey, I can't afford to pledge, but I tweeted it out, like whatever you can do, introducing other people to it. We really appreciate you. You are the ones who make this possible. And kind of the way that we all got into the YouTube sphere is the fact that we all kind of looked at the way that the comics industry was treating its customers, because we were customers. And even though I was a pro, I was like, this isn't right how, they're treating the people that make it possible. And this attitude developed, in the 2015, 2014, 2016, it's really kind of started to build up into this toxicity where they were saying, well, I don't work for you, I work for the publisher. That was what a lot of writers, a lot of artists were saying. And I was like, no, we work for you. I mean, we're asking you to part with your money, that, your hard-earned cash, to buy this product that we're putting out. It's a customer service job. Does that mean that you're going to be able to tell me, I want these two characters to get together and you need to make it happen? Hey, you need to make it happen. Not necessarily, no, but we have to aim to give you stories that you will be interested in, that characters that you can invest in. We have to entertain. And it's so valuable. Like I talked about that little girl coming up, the way that you touch people's hearts, you touch their lives. It's such a huge responsibility that we do not take lightly, and we appreciate every single one of you that is out there. I had somebody who wrote to me on the Nail Before Doomface page, and they said, I read the digital copy. It wasn't what I expected. I didn't like it. And if I had been a comic pro, in the kind of way that they've treated people, I would have been very rude to that person, and told them that they were a fool and blah, blah, blah. How dare you, speak to me thusly, like I'm important, and instead I said, I'm sorry that you didn't like it. Give me your order number. Let me know if you ordered a physical copy. I can't refund you the digital because you did get that. But if you didn't enjoy it and you don't want your physical copy, I'll give you a refund and I'll pass that on to somebody who I hope will enjoy it more. Just simple customer service. It's like, wasn't their cup of tea. I get it. Not mad about that. So, it's important to treat the people who let you accomplish your dreams. This book is a dream of Drew's. It's a dream of Aurelio's. It's a dream of mine to see this published, and continue to go on, and for you to get to these stories that Drew and Aurelio have planned. You guys are the ones that make that possible. So don't let anybody in the industry tell you otherwise.
Yeah,
that's the end of my that's the end of my rant.
Yeah, we said it before. I'll say it again. This is all because of Aurelio. This wouldn't have happened without him, and I gotta thank him to this day for it.
And then everybody who shows up, Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who's backed it, I appreciate you more than you know. It means a lot, and I appreciate everyone who comes up to me at a show and they get copies. It means a lot. If you're still on the fence, reach out to me. Let me know. So let's see if I can. What can I do to get you into this comic today? And we can talk about it.
What can Drew do to get you into the surf and turf? Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love, Drew, is how many times you and I get asked when people come up and they're like, well, how much is it to have you guys sign the book? And you and I are always like, nothing. Like, why would we charge for that? And because our feeling is like, look, if you bought the book, or if you come to us with some of our work that you bought, no matter what it is, you pick up my Street Fighter book that's coming out and you bring it to me at a show, I'm going to sign it for you. You know why? Because you supported my work. I owe you that signature. I owe you a good interaction. I want you to go away feeling good about having met me and having come up and talked to me. It's the same thing, even with YouTube. We were all in Dallas. Josh, Max, Wes, every one of us. It's like, hey, you took time out of your you either came to the show to see us, or you took time out of your day at the show to come and talk to us. We want to send you away with a good experience.
Yep,
absolutely.
I think too, and this is, I hate how conventions have become this way, because if you go back like a decade, unless you were like a top build person, a lot of times you could go and talk to the creators and get stuff signed for free. Like they might have a limit of how much they would sign, but you could go and you weren't paying like these crazy amounts of like, oh, $40 a signature, which is just wild. Like these people are paying good money to one, get into the convention, potentially traveling to that convention, staying in a hotel. Like I'm glad that y'all are like, no, we're signing it. Like there's no payment here.
Sometimes people ask you to, sometimes people are like, well, how much for a remark? And you're like, oh, you want me to draw something on it? Okay. And then like that might be, it's like, $5. I don't know. I'm not an artist. I'm not drawing beautiful images like Aurelio. I'm just, I'm going to doodle, you're like, what can you draw me? And I'm like, how about a nice dark-winged duck?
Future, you never want me to remark anything for you. My art is awful. Like my stick figure characters look like they have special needs. Okay, I mean just.
It's worse than Tom King.
I'm sorry.
Josh drew me a stick figure, and I was like, "What does he have? Rickets? What's going on?"
It's worse than Tom King's. What the hell?
I do want to kind of say, to tack on to what Aaron was saying about, like how the YouTube sphere got started and stuff, even some of the, like, why, Drew, you started turning to, like, create comics. And I don't want to speak for Aurelio, but maybe it's the same for you, is we were getting a lot of comics where story didn't matter. They were just churning out whatever for the sake of churning it out. They didn't care. The editors didn't care. It was just a matter of putting it out to put it on the stands. And there was a desire from a lot of fans, that were like, hey, we want good stories. And the comics industry was getting more and more closed off about who was getting opportunities and, who, quote unquote, mattered within the industry. So I think seeing this whole indie sphere come up through crowdfunding gave a lot of people a nice step up. And, we're talking about Unholy Nightmare tonight, but Drew, you've done so much. Like you were so busy and doing so many different books, and then seeing them come out and they're all different genres, and you're becoming a better writer. And it's great to see. Like I always want to see my friends be successful. So I think it's just fun to watch, each new project as it comes along. So.
Yeah, some of these you've seen. I've been working on these for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and some of them are just now starting to finally come out. Like that Pray for the Sinner. It's finally coming out after 2.5 years, launching in August.
Listen, if you've ever watched our Thursday stream, there have been countless times where I've been like, yeah, you got this. And I'll like stop because I'm like, oh shit, can we talk about this?
No, even worse, Josh, Drew will get to me and he'll be say like, hey, Pray of the Sinner, did you see Pray of the Sinner got announced? And I'm like, which one was that? And he has to remind me what it was. It's like, oh yeah, we've worked on that, sure. But it's like it's been so long. It's been sitting in the can for so long that you completely forget. And he has to refresh me. Sometimes he sends me art pages. He's like, these just got turned in, and I'm like, what book is this?
It's a blessing and a curse to have that many projects, and I bask in it. It's what I wanted since I was a kid, and I'm enjoying it.
It's one of the hardest things in the world is when people come up at shows and they're asking like, what are you working on? And you're like, some stuff is coming.
Yep.
Especially if you're in a lull where you don't have like your current stuff or the stuff that you worked on is out of print and the new stuff isn't out yet, and you're just kind of like, hey.
You happen to go to combo shops nearby the convention so you can get some backstock to sell at the booth.
Look at that Kenneth Rocafort cover.
So good. I was gonna say, can we review that? I know you mentioned lining up soon, but I was saying, can we review some of these covers again? Because I think that's the best way. The best way to wind up. Let's go through each cover and we'll talk a little bit about each one. So Drew, you control the horizontal, you control the vertical. Take us to the top, and let's go one by one down the covers.
Here we go. Yeah, main cover A, we got the Kenneth Rocafort, and this was done by Kenneth Rocafort about a couple of years ago, I think. We were kind of sitting on it for a while, and just waiting for them to announce it. And I was proud to display it. He's a master of his craft, and I could not wait, to get this out because I love his artwork. I love since the New 52 at DC, and be able to say I have him on a property I'm a writer of, co-creator of. It's a dream.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's so damn good. I discovered him when he came in on Madame Mirage with Paul Dini. And that was the first time I'd ever seen his art, and just absolutely fell in love with it. Been a fan of his ever since. And then obviously, he did the Kneel Before Doomface cover for issue 1, which I absolutely love. And I got to go hang out with him in Ontario, not Canada, but Ontario, California, at the convention, and just spend the day with him. And just he could not be a nicer, more generous person. So, if you want to, you're like, hey man, I'm looking for an artist who both is fantastic and who is a good person that, I want to support. Roquefort's your guy.
It's a great cover. I remember when Drew was like teasing, like, hey, I've got something that I want you to see, but I'm waiting. And I'm like, why are you waiting? It's like, well, it's not fully nailed down yet. I'm like, oh. And I was like trying to think if it was going to be. And then it was like, I think a few days later, he's like, okay, we're getting Kenneth to do a cover. And he sent me like, I think the early pencil sketches, like, holy shit. But I had the same reaction when I saw yours as well, Aaron. Like, I was just like, what a snag, man. Like,
well, the funny thing is, like, I show you the pencils. I'm like, here's the pencils he showed us, and we're all like, cool. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, he's done. He finished it. Like, here's the finished product. And we're all like, oh my god, like it happens so fast. He's so quick. All right, let's go on to the next one, Drew. Come on, keep it moving.
Okay. And this was the big one. This is thanks to Carmine. And our connections working with Draxcow and Marat, we were able to lock in this cover from Draxcow, another one of the big hot names, in the industry right now. He's only getting bigger, and to be able to say I got him on a cover, and the fact that he said he enjoyed drawing it, and I couldn't be happy. It's incredible.
Agreed. Draxcow always does really interesting angles too, and I think that's part of like the allure, or at least part of what draws me to his covers, is I feel like he always has this really cool angle that he'll give you a nice perspective from. Everything about this, that you get the downward angle going up, just says dominance for Trinacri, and I'm like, dude, this is so cool, and it looks good, and it's kind of hot.
That's a cover that, like, if you're just walking by at a convention and you see that, like, I do think we need big, a couple of big images from the different covers, just a couple of them on display at shows this year, because that is something that stops you in the aisle and you go, wait, what is this? That the Aurelio's character design is so fantastic and so interesting, and Draxcal just like took that and gave us a really interesting angle. Like Josh said, this is one of my favorite covers that we've ever had on the book.
Yeah. And it's really a shame. I wish he was here in the States. He's out of the country as well. Another one of the great mini artists who's outside of the country. I was hoping he was going to be at New York or Terrificon or MegaCon, but he's only doing like one or two, and that shows, and that's it. But because I would love to meet him, just shake his hand for this, because it's one of the best. And next up, Shane Connery Volk. This is another big name. I love the series Nottingham, one of my favorite indie books of the last few years. A great twist on Robin Hood, and Shane Connery Volk was the artist on that series. And I'm a big fan of his work. And I asked him if he'd be able to do a cover. He said, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm like, oh shit! And he nailed it. I absolutely loved it. And we're also offering it in just the black and white, just what the pencils look like, and that looks just as amazing.
I remember when you first sent me like the very rough sketch of this, I was like, you were like, what do you think? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really see the vision. And then I was like, I don't know. It was like, it's kind of neat, like maybe. And then when you sent me the more detailed version, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I feel bad for Drew sometimes. I'm sorry, Josh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this was another one when he mentioned that he got Shane to do it. I was like, you shut your mouth. We'd been gushing over, he mentioned Nottingham. We'd been gushing over that book and his work there. And just, it was one of those things that not a lot of people were reading, but the people that were reading were all unanimously being like, hey, this is one of the best books that's out. Go get it. So, I think we kind of had a little fangirl thing going on. So having him do this was, I thought, super cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Josh, I feel bad for Drew sometimes because he'll be like, "Guess who I got?" And I'm like, I'm so out of like, I'm like so out of the monthlies that like I don't recognize as many artist names anymore. So he'll be like, "I got this guy," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Who is that?" And Drew's like, "What? What are you out of your mind?" And I'm like, "Drew, I'm not. I don't do floppy drop with you guys on Thursdays. I'm not in, like I'm not as in anymore with the up and coming guys that are working on these indie titles that I don't read." And then he'll send me their art, and I'm like, "Okay, there we go. Yeah, they're excellent. Good catch."
To piggyback that, there are times that Drew will be like, "Guess who I got?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't know at this point." Like, you keep kind of like going higher up the ladder, like until you're just like, "I got Jim Lee." I'm not going to be shocked anymore. Like, and even then, how the beat did you afford that?
I told him one time. I said, "I'm not playing this game with you, Drew. Just tell me." I'm not just gonna start throwing out names. I don't know, Brian Hitch,
Mick Jagger. I don't know.
Joe Matera. Plus, then I feel
Joe
bad
Montana.
if I was somebody where I was like Joe Matera, and then Drew's like, "Oh no, that would be really good though." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't mean to deflate you. I didn't mean to shoot too high."
I was about to do that to you with Brian Hitch. I'd be like, "Oh, is there something I don't know?" No, I'm kidding.
All right, next cover.
Next cover, we got Jonathan McDaniel, the Ginny cover right here. He's got a very unique style, and he's very popular at conventions. Like I said, he's known for doing a lot of horror paintings. He did one of Art the Clown for Terrifier, and I guess that guy really loved his work. And I guess Art the Clown, the guy who plays him, his banner is Jonathan McDaniel's work. He's got, and I couldn't say no to that. I'm like, hey, he's got some good recognition. So hey, and he did a great job. He had a model this for him, and we got some options to choose from, and this is one of the best ones we got. And Ginny looks very, very sexy. Aurelia, what do you think? Oh,
I
disappeared. Oh,
I love it too. No. I'm taking I must reload the iPad because battery is close. It's finishing. A few seconds.
Gotcha. But yeah, a lot of people. I think this surprised a lot of people when we got this one. They're like, "Oh my god!" And just how her face, just how much depth there is in her face, like around the cheekbones and everything. It actually looks real. And nothing photoshopped. The guy, he did it all piece by piece by piece by piece. Yeah, he did a beautiful job on this.
No, I agree.
What do we got next?
And we got my man, JC Grande. JC Grande, he is a workhorse. This guy is a wild man. And we got Dan Kemp, legendary colorist Dan Kemp from Image Comics. Spawn Dan Kemp did the colors for this cover. He was not a happy camper doing this. I know that for a fact. He's like, "Do you know how much of a pain in the ass it was coloring this?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry."
Did Dan color the other cover as well?
Which one?
This is JC Grande, right?
Yeah.
For issue 2, the one that JC did for issue 2.
Yes, he did.
Flat. Okay. At this point, I'm just he's probably like, no. The answer is no. If I see you call it, the answer is no.
Yeah,
I actually
he had all the bullets.
This is an artist. When Drew came and he said, "I got JC Grand working on this," I actually knew who it was because I was actually quietly. Drew didn't know I was working on a book with JC Grand where he had done the art. Vincent Spector, he had done some Vincent Spector stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's really good." He actually did a Doomface cover for me, the Backer Kit exclusive cover. Red Rain of Doomface. We Murphy did like the inks in like a really nice red, and it's on like a white cover. And we'll do a color version eventually. But I showed it to an artist, and I said, because he was like, "Do you have any?" Or a colorist, he said, "You got any coloring work? I'm kind of in between things. I could use something." And I said, "Well, I got this." And I was like, "But it might be too insane." And he looked at it and he goes, "No, I'll do it. I mean, just screw it. That's my flatter's problem." Because of how detailed it was. All right, what's next?
And next up, we got my boy, Andre Lunatic, the Mad Russian, and Shelby Robertson here on this cover. And they killed it.
Shelby Robertson, he's got a name.
Yeah, he's a name. The name among names. Shelby Robertson.
He's a made guy.
Yes, he is a made guy in the Image Comics. He's been working with Rob, Todd, everyone at Image, and he brought the energy with this. And the inspiration for this cover was a Judge Dredd cover by Brian Bolland, and so Andre Lunatic had shown me a couple options. I'm like, it works. It's not really what I wanted, and I showed him the Judge Dredd cover, and he was like, really, like that? Are you sure? I'm like, trust me, I think it's gonna work, man. He wasn't sure about it, and he absolutely nailed it. And Shelby, he brought to life with the inks and the color. I am incredibly happy with this. It's just it's case.
I want to do this. I want to do a version of this cover at some point with glow in the dark on the green, because I just think it's so damn good.
Ooh, good call. Yes, I love it.
All right, next up.
Next up, we have got the Vu Don. Rest in peace, Vu. His very last piece of artwork he did before he passed, and he gave me a black and white cover, and that just what it looked like. And I'm like, we are making this in 3D. And so there are two options, I believe, for this on the campaign: the foil like this and the black and white. There's no regular color variant. It's only the foil and the black and white, because it pops so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the sting. That cover was the stinger that Wes used for the campaign trailer as well.
Yes, it was. And it's just I know Vu passed, but man, he left. He went out with this is a great piece. If you were to have a last piece of artwork, I'm glad it was this one. Just he killed it.
All right, next up.
We got, hey, there she is, Katya, the current superstar in the business. We are Carmine, me. Thanks to Carmine, really. He got this set up. I believe talked to Xavier, and we got this done. And it's like he said that, and like we think again, Katya. I'm like, yeah, right. That's not gonna happen. And it's like, oh my God, it happened, and much easier than I thought. How about that?
Yeah, I love the werewolf shadow so much.
Yeah, that really
perfect
was something
touch.
that I love too.
Yeah. And it's like it's just the case where like each cover kept consistently getting better. The more we got of them, I'm just like, how does this happen? This never really happens, especially on a book. I mean, look, I understand we're an indie book. We're not that big, but we're still kind of small. But it's like, how the hell did we get this lucky? This is amazing. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, asking, for curiosity, are there other variants of the Katya cover?
To be continued.
Okay.
To be continued.
I was trying to be a good salesman, but yeah.
Josh is out here creating mystery boxes.
Blind bags.
You know what's so funny? It's like people have asked, like, are you guys going to do blind bags? And it's like, I know that like people love them and they're hot. They're like the hot thing right now, but it feels so sleazy to me in some ways. It's like, but it's like, you got to give the customer what they want, right? Just because I'm personally like, I feel like I'm taking advantage of you. When the customer's like, no, please take advantage of me. I want this. You're like, all right, give you what you want.
Take my money. Take my money. Okay. All right.
And here's our 48-hour variant. This is only available during the first 48 hours of the campaign, so this is probably going to end up being one of the most limited covers that we do. This is by Leslie Lyrics Lee, who is here with us today.
She actually she left a little bit ago. She forgot to charge her laptop. So
okay. So all right. So she's no longer here with us, but she did join us briefly. Very talented, very up and coming. She's getting more and more mainstream work. So I think that. The chat Kaiser says, Vu was about to blow up. Absolutely. And Katya's blowing up right now. And I think Leslie's blowing up. So, it's really nice. We're getting to work with a lot of really great artists, like right here in their early career. And I'll tell you, an artist that I was right there at the beginning of his career that I wish I had gotten a Doomface piece from while he was still affordable was Lobos.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
I kick myself through because you were telling me, you're like, you should get him to do something now. Like, you've got the character design, just have him do something. And I was like, I don't know. Should have listened. But yeah, this is a 48-hour only cover.
Yeah, this was a late minute ad. You know, she showed this to me, I think, last weekend. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, this is a cover. I can't say no to this. This is amazing. And I am incredibly blessed and fortunate to be working with all these fantastic artists, to have these fantastic pieces of art, and for just get this one at the last minute as well. I'm incredibly fortunate. Every creator wished they had this problem.
Yeah. Just a murderer's row of covers.
I was about to say,
Yes.
you've had incredible artists that you worked with, both interiors and covers. It's just wild.
Yeah.
So that's our campaign. What are we at right now?
Yeah, that was a good question. Let's see here.
We
We are currently at $21.95. $805 to go.
Yep. To hit our funding goal. 41 backers so far. Very nice.
And I know we looked at covers. I know we're trying to wrap up. I just wanted to say, can you pull up some of the interior pages real quick?
Yes.
I mean, just because, especially like looking at this and coming in advance, I remember it was this page. I remember when you text me the completed version of this page, and I text you back and I said, what's different? Because something to me had changed and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then you're like, we got a new colorist. And I just want to say, like, Aurelio, I love your art. And this color change, I think, just makes your art pop. And just, I couldn't tell, and this is where I need to work, on being able to discuss art better. I couldn't tell what was different, but I was like, something is different. And I can tell this is Aurelio, but I was like, man, something is just great here. But yeah, when I saw this, I was like, I am so ready for him to drop this issue because it looks so freaking good. Just fantastic stuff.
I've actually suggested, like, when we do the trade, like going back and having Oscar recolor the first two issues. So, because like I said, I'm a consistency guy, and I think that Oscar does. Everybody that Oscar colors. He colors Renzo on Doomface and on John's book. John's Longbox, his book Heroic Tales. He's coloring Aurelio here. He colored Aurelio on a book that Aurelio and I were working on, called Brotherhood of the Wolf. But that Aurelio did some fantastic character designs for, as well. And every time Oscar touches their stuff, it's like it's already gorgeous, and then it just like levels up because now Oscar knows what to fade into the background. He knows what to bring into the foreground. He knows where your eye needs to go, and I don't know that Oscar spends any time like just sitting there thinking about it, or if he just gets on the page and is like bam, 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 because but he may know it instinctively, but it's so damn good. And like I said, Aurelio, your art is beautiful. You are a beautiful man. I love working with you, and I'm so glad that we were able to pair you with Oscar and that you guys are just both doing such a good job on this.
Yeah, that colors, I'm definitely no expert. I'm new at this. And when I saw this, I kept asking Drew, like, what in the world is different? Just like Josh was saying. And I said, there's something, it's almost like, not that there was anything wrong with before, but it was almost like at a totally different level color-wise. And I'm like, it just makes everything look like so different. And I never realized, to me, I think color, red, white, blue, whatever. And but this just, oh my gosh, it blew me away. It really blew me away. And Aurelio's art blows me away as well.
Thank you so much.
Just, it's just wonderful. I'm very excited.
And this is the case where, Josh would agree with me. Aaron would agree with me. Hell, if Wes were here, he would agree with me that we can proudly hold this comic up to anything from Marvel and DC.
Oh,
and
yeah.
be like, this meets and or exceeds their standards any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yep. Completely agree. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Part of the reason, you guys started making these comics was like just the lack of care wasn't there. And I know I was talking about from a story perspective, but even from the art perspective, like how many times do we look, how many times when we're doing our Thursday shows and we're going over comics, do we sit here and go, this looks odd, this is just boring, stagnant, boring panels,
Yeah. 100%. You know, if there's one thing that pisses me off, you want to see me get worked up, Josh. That's what gets me worked up, and it pisses me off. I'm like, you have a great effing opportunity to have a great explosive page, and you give it this bland, static, flat angle shot. What the F are you thinking? And it's just the editor not doing their damn job. Hey, Aaron,
Well, the editor
Aaron,
and
can
then-
you speak can you see if Leslie's in the back room? Can you?
Oh yeah. At the stage.
Hey,
There we go.
Hello.
Miss
Hello.
Josh,
Hello.
Josh, let me ask this because I do have to dip out.
Yep.
If I leave, can you end the stream, or you nobody has any control in the stream? We'll just keep going.
I don't think anyone has control of the stream at that point.
Okay. So I do have to call.
Okay. All right. Well,
But-
yeah.
If you want to go, if you want to jump over to Pop My Culture and keep the party going over, with Rock and Joshy Billups, that would be cool too.
I have not had dinner, otherwise I would say yes. But I'm pushing 9 o'clock, and I'm like food raging over here.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you to everybody who joined us for the stream. Thank you to everybody who contributed. Thank you to everybody who will contribute. Thank you to all of my wonderful guests, all of the people that joined us. We appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow. Josh and I will see you tomorrow for Comics Aficionados, and I believe Drew will probably be doing the Hot or Not after that. No, that's not. That's Jim. That's not you. Or is that
Jim.
you?
Yeah, I do the best of the week. Yeah.
That's right. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
See, best of the week, Hot or Not. Like what? It's the same thing, right?
Thank you, guys.
I got no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining
Carmine.
us, Carmine.
Nice to
and
see you, man.
we will.
Thank you.
will,
Nice to see you guys too. Thank you for letting me in your world. I'm really enjoying it, and
Oh no, man! Like
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
You've been great. We're glad to have you. This is one train that's not exclusive, man. We're
That's
anybody
awesome.
who wants to jump on can come and join us.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you. Aurelio, good to see you, man.
Bye.
Night.
The same here. Thank
Bye,
you so much,
Leslie.
my friend.
Hey, Leslie.
In the immortal words
Bye,
of Doc,
Aurelio.
in the immortal words of Doc, get out.
Too shy.